Hello. I adjusted my microphone placement, so we may have to adjust volume a little bit, but we should be decently okay. Yeah, we should be okay. I should eat the swing thing, but my stomach can suck. Do you mean I should not eat the sweet thing? Is that what you mean? Perchance? Yeah, you gender. Thank you. I like these glasses a lot. But hello, welcome. Y'all, I need to bitch for like 2 seconds. So I commented on a TikTok of someone, a college student who is like, the caption was like, POV, you're like going and taking a class of information that you know you're never going to need ever again. And someone in the comment section was like, yeah, I don't know why they make people take these classes, blah, blah, blah. It's such a waste of time and energy, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the whole point of the video, is like, it's the general education stuff. And it's like, I commented saying, like, well, you can have students, like, the reason why general education exists in the first place is because the K through 12 system sucks, because it's so decentralized. It's quite literally up to the states to decide what gets taught at the K through 12 level. And you will have students from two very different school districts be attending the same university, and if they're saying, like, you are leaving this university with this degree, then we are saying to the world that everyone who leaves our university is leaving with the same caliber of education, whether it be in one field or another. And that's why general education classes exist, and that's why it's required, is because they want everyone who's getting a degree from their school to have the same, be on the same playing field. Like, everyone has to take, like, an English class, everyone has to take a math class, etc., whatever requirements your degree requires. And, like, the person responded to me and is like, no, it's just because they need to make more money. Yes, I do acknowledge that education is a business. Ultimately, in the end, everything is a fucking business. Let's be real here. But if you have two students from two separate school districts, one being a very wealthy school district and one being in a very poor part of the country, they, like, you're putting them on two separate unequal playing fields. That's just how it unfortunately is. Like, the reason why I had to take piano classes in college, even though I already knew how to play the piano, is because there were peers of mine in the music college who've never played piano until they got to college. And my mom was actually flabbergasted by that when I told her, like, oh yeah, like, my peer at the time, like, oh yeah, she's never had a piano lesson before in her life. And she's like, what? Really? And she's in music education? Like, how is that be? Like, because they couldn't afford it. That wasn't a thing. And it wasn't even like she was in, like, a deep rural Oklahoma area. A reason I'm thinking of Oklahoma is because I've been watching way too much tornado shit recently. But literally, like, in 2 hours down the road from where I live, I think, if I remember geography correctly. But you're like, one is going to have so much more of an advantage over the other. Exactly. And if they are coming in really smart and really ahead, then maybe they can have some of those credits waived. Maybe they did. Maybe they took AP level exams or dual enrollment credit. But, like, the general education system is designed because the K through 12 system sucks that badly. Like, honestly, I honestly wish that I didn't have to take general education courses, even though, like, those were some of my more fun courses, honestly. Like, I got to take classes I did really like. But at the same time, like, if colleges didn't have to, then they wouldn't, because, like, it's not going to matter if a student is there for 2 years or 4 years, because, like, we get a lot of, like, community college or, like, students who already have associate's degrees, so they're usually only here for like 2 more years anyway. So it wouldn't even matter. But that's the sad reality of the situation. So that just like grinds my gears a little bit. It's like, yes, colleges do need to make money because we do need to be able to fund the people who are giving you the education you want and all the support systems you need to succeed. But the general education exists solely because the K through 12 system is not created equal. It is not created equal whatsoever in the slightest. Sorry to get on my soapbox like right at the start of stream. But that like I saw that comment like right before I went live, and I'm like, I have thoughts and feelings because I work in higher ed. I was in music classes and even had private tuition. I've only been taught one instrument, so I get it. I mean, like, even then, some students will never learn an instrument because they can't afford to even rent an instrument to play it. I had to take general GCSE maths in college because it was required for me to have a grade C in maths to continue in life. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But K through 12 requirements versus college requirements are kind of like on two separate fields. Like right now, what we're seeing a crisis with the K through 12 system because they're just pushing students forward without like a regard to like, are they actually learning the material that they need to learn? Like, it's kind of frightening a little bit. Like, we're kind of seeing, like, we're not seeing this now. Like, the problem is not presenting itself now, but like probably within the next 5 years, five to 7 years, where we at the college level are going to start seeing a massive decline in students' abilities to actually like do things. It's going to get bad. I didn't have the money to learn an instrument. The cheapest I could afford was a recorder, but then I didn't stick to it. We had to learn the recorder. That was required. We got a free recorder out of it. We had to learn one. That was required to do. It was required 3rd and 4th grade music class stuff. It's like standard curriculum. So like they don't make us buy a recorder. They give it to us. Like, once you start getting into band, then that becomes, like, very much optional. I want a free recorder. They made you pay for it? Oh, that's gross. That's so gross. But welcome to my soapbox. I have a lot of higher ed opinions as of late. Sax for like 2 years and was pure ass at it. I mean, hey, you learned. You did things. That's the important part. You don't have to be good at an instrument as long as you have fun. But welcome. Tonight we're going to play some Citizen Sleeper 2. I promise I'll not get too soapboxy tonight, but I have higher opinions on my mind. Just generally speaking, like, yesterday I got home from work and I'm like, I have thoughts and opinions. I have feelings about things. I have been working on the new overlays for stream. Those I hope to declare to, like, officially show off within the next week or so, hopefully. I have to finalize the alerts and how I want them to sound and all of that stuff. I think that's the last thing I need to finalize, I think, because I want everything to kind of like look nice before like I do like the big reveal. Hi Jesse, good to see you. How are you? Also, why is this not playing audio? What? Let's swap that and then swap back to that. Hello? Okay. We're gonna fix this right now. Cause why worky? That's weird. I'm prepping you right now. The game volume is gonna probably get it's probably gonna be very loud because it's gonna be looking for it. Oh, wait, didn't I have this issue last time? I think I had this issue last time. I think I have to restart the game. Because I'm clicked into it. Let me restart it. Ask what's on your shirt. Great. Yes, you can. Yes, you can be nosy. This is the AGDQ shirt for Awesome Games Done Quick 2025. So it's the week-long... There we go. Audio's now working. Cool. It's the week-long speed running that they do to raise funds for charity. So I really liked the pattern of the shirt, and I also got a pennant to put up in my work office as well. So I bought it, and it was like a pre-order, so it didn't come until like a week or two ago. And yeah, the proceeds went towards the charity they were raising money for, which I think was like a breast cancer foundation, if I remember correctly. Hi, Lashy. Good to see you. How are you? Glad to see that you're doing all right. I wondered what was missing. I figured like it would come back on, but it was very weird. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, those overlays will be done hopefully by the end of next week. AGDQ is great this year. Honestly, Summer Games Done Quick last year was my favorite so far that I've watched. I will probably stream very minimal that week, whenever that week comes around. I have to check the calendar. One of these years I want to go to the Awesome Games Done Quick, because it's usually in Pittsburgh, which isn't terribly far from where I live, but it's normally like right at the top of the year. So we come out of 2 weeks of break and we're immediately in the pre-semester extravaganza. So it's just really hard for me to take off. One of these years I will go. One of these years I will go. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what else have I done this week. It's just like a lot of like slow work on the overlays, which hopefully I should be done with them by end of next week, hopefully. And yeah. And senior advisor has to come with holiday privileges? No, sadly no. Unfortunately. We just get a pay raise. That's the only like big difference. You don't get additional days off until like you've worked at the university for like a certain amount of years. So once I hit my 5-year mark, if I hit my 5-year mark at this university, then I will accrue more annual leave per pay cycle. And I think, do I get more sick days? Or is it just, do I accrue more annual leave? I don't remember. I know I would accrue more time of annual leave per pay cycle. But that's why like one of our advisor like takes like at least like 3 separate breaks, for 2 weeks each out of the year, because she has like, she's worked here for like 25 years at this point. So she accrues so much leave that like, it's just like, she has to use it because it's you use it or lose it. Like you can't really bank it. Like you can bank it up to like a certain point. I think it's like the full year plus half. And then once you bank that much, then it all goes away. And then your sick days, you have to use by the end of each year. Otherwise, those go away. Like, you don't get cash out if you don't use them. Yes, she's the one with the at least one cat. The other one might have passed away. She doesn't talk about that one as much anymore. Granted, I don't really ask her a lot of questions because she usually keeps to herself. But yeah, she has at least one cat. Using my sick days at Walmart for my last year. No, that's fair. Yeah, this year I'm going to be using like my sick leave first, because the last 3 years, the last 2 Decembers or 3 Decembers, I've always ended up with like a stupid amount of sick leave left that like I'm just like sporadically taking off, and like for like like have a 2.5 week vacation before we come back to work in January, because I had so much leave I had to use before it went away. because it doesn't stack. For sick leave specifically. Need a break sometime soon. I am like a little burnout caring for my parents, but I also need to get used to leaving the house. Yeah. I mean, just doing the small increments of just like going out a little bit every day, it'll build you up to it. Bring up something to get off my chest real quick if you'll let me. Depends on what it is. Depends on what it is. Not triggering? Okay, then you should be good. I left the house to help the neighbors yesterday because they were locked out. Oh, look at you. I'm proud of you. Also, feel free to let me know in chat, everybody, what y'all have been up to and things like that. Oh, you heard the sirens? There's nothing out there. They must have passed by. There's nothing out there, though. Weird stage right now where when I have free time I end up in a mental rut. Depending on how you define mental rut, I kind of feel the same way. But like the way I actually talked about this in therapy earlier this week. Look at me go. But the mental rut I get in is more of a executive dysfunction. Like I don't know what to do first. Even though like I have my to-do list of things that I need to do, or well, not need, but want to get done. But the struggle is figuring out the order priority and what should come first, right? So for the example, with my overlays, right? So it's a overhauling overlays, TM. That should be like TM. Overhauling overlays can be such a, in my brain, it's such a daunting task because when I started this week, I had 3 overlays that I had to essentially overhaul / create from scratch. The DVD overlay, which is more of just like upkeep and not so much like porting it over or like fixing it or anything, it's just upkeep. Then the Codename Good Game overlay, which is a new overlay. And then remaking of this overlay, right? So I was talking it through with my therapist and I'm like, I know, like, these are things I want to do. Like, I want to do them, and I'm excited to do them. However, and I think I had, like, kind of, like, an epiphany, like, as I was talking to them about it. But I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, do I, like, do this thing first? Do I do this first? Like, where do I, like, what is the priority? What is the order of operations here? And then, like, I mentioned, like, oh, maybe I need to, like, have, like, break it down into like the smallest chunk possible, which is why I ended up doing for my cyber the new this overlay of like, okay, I'm gonna download because I needed to decide what overlay I want, because I at that point I had like 2 in mind, so it was just deciding which between the 2 of them which one I want. Decide what I want, buy it, download it, create a duplicate in OBS of like this overlay, because I'm just like changing where things are. I'm not like completely scrapping it and starting from scratch, because oh my god, that would be so much work. And then kind of going from there. And that actually really helped me when it came to like a task like it's not, and like now getting through it, I'm like, oh, like, am I done? Like, it feels weird. Like, I feel like I'm not done, even though like I have like a couple more things I need to do. But that helps me. But like I still like this is more just like we're beginning this process of how to figure out executive dysfunction. But there are definitely days where I'll just sit and play Dead by Daylight for like 5-6 hours. And like knowing I have other things I want to do, but I just end up in the rut of just playing one game. And that's it. So yeah, and definitely, like, especially when it comes to chores, knowing or, like, deciding, like, okay, which chore should come first when all of them are kind of equal priority. Like, it doesn't matter which one gets done first. So, and that's where I get mental stuck, like, where I can't decide on something is then, like, okay, I'm going to default to whatever's easiest, which is Dead by Daylight. But I told you I want to lay in bed for hours, even though I know I should do things. So my therapist and I are working on activities and slowly getting back into a routine. Yeah, having a routine is good, especially one in the morning. Like, my routine is normally, like, I'll lay in bed for, like, a hot second, then get up. If I shower, I shower. If not, I won't shower. Like, brush my teeth, wash my face, change clothes, go to the bathroom, make my bed. And then usually turn on my computer. And then usually around that point is when I take my medication. That's kind of like my morning routine. My home is overwhelming. I feel that. My big chore that I did today was I vacuumed. Because when I start seeing, like, little pills of, like, not, like, pills, like, medication pills, but, like, fabric and thread from, like, clothing on the ground, I'm like, no, don't like that. So, vacuumed and had to fix the vacuum because it got clogged, and I got dust all over my stovetop, which was fun. So I had to wipe that down too. But yeah, definitely doing, like, cleaning is not fun for me because it always feels like such, like, a, also, like, the overwhelming, exhausting task that I don't want to do, but I know I need to do. So, like, I usually try, like, every weekend to do, like, one big cleaning thing, and I do that, like, I do one of those every weekend, or I try to, at least. Week I went outside, played games, fluffed cats. What is why are we fluffing cats? What does that mean? Bastion, you yell at me to take a break on Mass Effect? I don't see you yelling at me to take a break in Dead by Daylight, but you're more than welcome to do that for me if you want. Bright side, yesterday I got free stuff from my job, including a few scanners. Oh, it will make it in a monitor. And one of the scanners helping me clean my paperwork more easily. Ooh, that's fun. I love that for you. There's documents, like, I want to print and put in my safe as, like, a, God forbid, last, like, just in case situation. So, yeah. I hope I put that on my to-do list tomorrow. To do my Etsy orders. I think I did. If I can go paperless, that'd be wonderful. I've been meaning to do scans of all of my physical sheet music, just so I can get rid of the box that's, like, sitting in my bedroom. Especially the ones that, like, are not, like, spiral bound or not, like, part of a book of sheet music. They're just loose pieces of sheet music that are, like, photocopies or something. Like, I would love to scan those in. I just don't have a scanner. Maybe I'll bring them to work one day and be like, hey, I'm just gonna scan stuff, don't mind me. Actually, no, I do have a scanner. I forget my printer has a scanner on top. I forget about that. Ideally, the only paperwork I'll have is the bare minimum. That's fair. That's fair. It's also just good to have the digital copy, too. Like, if you know it's going to be, like, on, like, a hard drive or a flash drive and it's not going anywhere, then, yeah. Less paper, less things you have to worry about, like, when you're moving and stuff. I wish shredding was something that was less effort. I'm very much used to shredding because that's what a lot of what I did in my prior job. Because we would have transcripts come in, and once we scanned those in the system, we would shred them. And when we were moving offices on campus, we discovered so many boxes of transcripts from, like, 2013, 2012 that we didn't need to keep anymore. So that's where I learned we had a giant industrial shredder in the basement of the dining hall. And we had a cage down there. And the cages, I mean, are just, like, giant lockers, but they're cages for, like, different departments to store things. So we stored boxes of transcripts down there to be shredded and just never got around to shredding them. It's time-consuming and inconvenient. That's why I usually like to pop on a video or listen to music while I'm doing that stuff. Like, sometimes when I'm making dinner and there's, like, or when I'm doing chores, like, I'll just pop on, like, a YouTube video or something. Makes it go by a lot easier for me. My therapist and I are categorizing the activities by routine, necessary, and pleasurable activities. I put the hardest at the bottom and the easiest at the top, and then I write down in my diary for it. Gotcha. Okay. Susie's fine. She may have a little bump on the head, but she's fine. She's fine. Okay, last thing I want to mention before we get into, or actually two things. One is the schedule, which the schedule button does work, and I'm happy about that. So this is the upcoming schedule for this next week. So Monday, we're going to continue with Botany Manor and probably finish it. I will be starting stream later that day, or later that evening, just because I work evening, and I had a student who scheduled right at 6:30 with me, and I'm big mad about it, but I can't stop them from scheduling with me at 6:30. It's fine. Tuesday, we're going to be playing Chapter 3 of Life is Strange Double Exposure, hopefully to finish the entire chapter, but we shall see. Saturday of next week, we will continue with Citizen Sleeper 2, and then the Monday after, so the end of March, we will try out a game called Hyper Light Drifter, which, from my understanding, it's a lot like Gris. Or, wait, is it similar to Gris? How does Steam describe it as? Where it go? Where go on my list of games? Where go? Steam describe... Oh, doesn't have it listed. That's good. I thought it would. That's fine. It just says pixel graphics, great soundtrack, atmospheric. So I'm like, okay, cool. It came out in 2016. I have one of the soundtracks on Spotify, and I love it to the point where I learned how to play most of it on piano. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to try it out. I am trying to avoid playing like too many like larger games at once, just because I don't know when Citizen Sleeper, we're going to be done with Citizen Sleeper, and I want to get a little closer to the end of Life is Strange before starting like another long-ish game. One thing I hate is that I mean to play certain games like Myst and Resident Evil more, but I put off even that. Same, though. It is such a hassle to get me to play demos for my indie game collective, which actually is a good segue to the next thing I wanted to talk about. I played the demo for Rue Valley, and holy fucking shit, dude. It's like Disco Elysium, but it's not Disco Elysium. It actually seems more like a primer for Disco Elysium, because Disco Elysium is a game I want to play. I just know it is a fucking massive game, so it's gonna be another Red Dead 2 situation from my understanding of things. It's gonna be like a long haul of a game, which has been very daunting to me, but I've always wanted to try a game in the style of Disco Elysium. So Rue Valley is like a game in this, it's literally a game in the style of Disco Elysium. So it's so cool, it's so awesome, and I really enjoyed the demo. I think the demo is available for everybody. They did give me a key for it, but feel free to go check it out. The demo is about a half hour long, so you can go investigate it for yourself. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm really excited to see where it's gonna go. You're an academic advisor. I need to ask, does your school you work for have any mismanagement and or organization problems? Like, how so? Because I'm only really knowledgeable about like our direct department, like the department I work in, not necessarily like, because we're very siloed as a university, and some universities are like that, some aren't, but we're very siloed, so we only really know about what's going on in our department unless if another department's stuff isn't interfering with us. So I don't know if I can necessarily speak on that. Like, I always wish that, like, it's the problem of working for a very large university, is that it is going to be siloed, it is going to have miscommunication issues, and things like that one unit is doing that maybe they shouldn't be doing, that should be more of this unit's job, etc. But that's just the unfortunate nature of working at a very large university. So there really isn't like anything we can do about that in this time, unless if we did like a full overhaul of the structure and the hierarchy. Very handy, honestly. When I have my therapy appointment, she asked what I've done. To hear her say she was proud of me for going outside made me happy. Yes, she should be, as I am proud of you too. Students being told one thing by someone who does their intake only for the programs they sign up for being very or even completely different. So, misadvising and mismanagement are two different things. So, if an advisor is misadvising a student, then that is a completely separate issue than a student being advised correctly by the academic advisor, but then they go over to another department who is trying to do academic advising but shouldn't be doing academic advising, and the student believes them, and then they come back to the academic advisor like, well, this person told me this. Is like, they should not be telling you that to begin with because they're not academic advisors. Like, I had a student come to me on Thursday wanting to talk about changing their major outside of business. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you about that. I can look on the website to see what classes you could maybe take for the new major, but I cannot advise you on this because that is outside of my purview. And if I fuck something up, if I say the wrong thing, it is on me, even though, like, I am not the major advisor for that new area. Like, if I say something that's incorrect and you do something with that and then it's wrong, that's going to go on me. And I don't want that. None of us want that. So, I know within our unit, we take misadvising very seriously in terms of, like I know, like, there's been, like, a couple times where I've misadvised on accident, and when I do catch it, like, I do make sure to follow up with the student to be like, hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you this, or like, hey, I was doing a recalculation of your credits, and this is the total you need, not this. But there's a difference between misadvising and mismanagement. And there's also a difference between we told a student to do one thing and then they don't do it. That is also a different thing. Because we've told students time and time again of our prerequisite sequence and they don't listen to us. And they're like, but wait, I thought I didn't need this class. It's like, no, we told you like 5 times that you needed this class. So, and we have record. We're actually switching systems, or we're actually not switching systems. We are getting a new centralized system that every single unit on campus will be utilizing for all of their notes, or should be for all of their notes. So we will have like a one-stop shop to see the entire student record from when they were initially a prospective student all the way to when they graduate, which will be actually kind of nice to see, like, because like we have like things from students saying like, oh, I was advised, I had advising from someone. It's like, oh, I don't see anywhere that you were advised by someone. I don't see it anywhere. I do not see it. So hopefully that'll stop some of that. But anyway, we're gonna get into gaming before my voice completely dies. So, Citizen Sleeper 2, recap. We are a sleeper, which is basically a android sentient uploaded into a human sentience uploaded into a physical body, like a robotic body. So we escaped our captor being Lane, and Lane is hot, so therefore he is our husband that we love dearly. We escaped our captor with our other husband. Again, this is also not canon, but I'm making it canon. And we are now roaming around the Starward Vector looking for how to completely sever our ties with Lane, but also to figure out what is wrong with our body, because our body is kind of deteriorating a little bit. And we're meeting some new crew members, and we're meeting people that we've worked with before earlier on in the game. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it so far. A lot of vocal stuff that I have to do, so like my breaks might be a little slightly longer just to give my voice more time to rest. It's helpful. I would give more context. The program I'm in has ended up many problems that have indicated mismanagement and even hostility. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and again, like, faculty and staff are usually on like two separate sides of the coin. So especially at larger universities, like, we don't really interact at all with our faculty, and they don't really interact with us. Though we do have some faculty who want to interact with us, which is great, but most of them don't, for whatever reason. And so that also does leave to things, because, like, we'll have, like, some faculty will advise and, like, tell students things, and it's like, no, we have full-time professional advisors to do that. You don't have to advise, it's fine. Okay, we're gonna continue. Alright, we are 52 cycles in. Wow. We're very far into the... Like, I don't know how far is far in the game. I don't know, like, I don't know how long is... Like, I don't know how long the game is, you know? Like, I'm guessing at this point. Okay, so we are gonna go... I remember from last stream, we are gonna go to... We're gonna go back to Helion Gate, because this is where... Yeah, the ship mine wreck. This is where the ship mine wreck is located, because then we're gonna go connect with Junie, who is gonna help us do the stuff with getting the ship mined. So, let's see. Okay. Okay, we might have to scavenge for fuel first, though. Didn't think we'd be that many cycles in. Yeah, because the cycle clock continues as we're doing, like, the gigs, the missions, the side missions and stuff. So those all continue. So that clock continues while we're on those, which I sometimes forget about. Search for supplies. Fuel barge. Oh god, yeah, this is bad. Okay. Oh, we did get fuel out of that. Nice. Though our energy is quite low. Oh, nice. We got more fuel. Okay. Okay, let's see. Anything else I can do here? Yeah, we can do some data scraping there, but is there something lower? No, there isn't. Okay. Okay, we got Solheim data. Being nearly broken is stress, but we do have ability to... We do have ability to fix our dice, though. Ooh, we are starved. We should eat food. Okay. Okay, we're gonna end cycle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna scavenge for food. Oh shit, we got great rolls. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's search for supplies. Okay. That's all I'm doing there. Alright. Alright, let's go. Oh, wait. Eugen does have... Oh. Fuck, I want to take Bliss. I feel like I'm gonna be kicking myself if I don't bring Bliss. I feel like I'm gonna be kicking myself if I don't bring Eugen, just because he has the endure skill that we don't have. Fuck it, I'm bringing, actually, I'm bringing Eugen. I'd rather have someone with endurance, just in case. Just in case. Hi, Seraphim. Hi, second husband. We're too far sunward, sleeper. Seraphim turns back in his chair to look at you. I don't like it. It's hard to not argue. The coordinates Junie found have drawn you out of Helion Gate, and almost out of the belt and completely into the soft, rubble-strewn transition with the Helion system to the edge of Conway-controlled space. He does look very cute like that. That's why this ship is likely to be untouched. Junie surveys the wreck coldly. It's too far sunward for belt traffic to run into, and now with Conway drones patrolling the edge of the belt, it's even less attractive as a salvage site. Lucky us. Junie eyes you, trying to detect if you are being sarcastic or not. I doubt anyone has been here in decades, so actually I would say we are lucky. Any drone signals? Nothing I can see, but I don't dare reach out too far. Seraphim flicks a few switches. We should assume they're out there. As you look at the twisted wreck, you swear you see a red light blinking between the stars. You exchange a look with Seraphim. He has seen it too. We better get to it, Sleeper. Seraphim begins unclipping from his seat, quickly and quietly. From what I understand, Conway drones run on automatic until they detect something of interest. Junie unclips too. So as long as we are quiet, we don't have to contend with an operator, just automated search sweeps. With no weapons, I'd say we are screwed either way. Eugen shoots you a wink. I'd say better not to be seen, right, Sleeper? He gets out of the corner seat and glides towards the back of the ship to get suited up. You drift out of your chair and head towards the airlock, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Being here is a risk, you know that, but you need the ship mind, so no matter what happens, you won't be leaving here empty-handed. Ooh, so Conwayler. Okay, so we have to be careful. Okay. I do love with each mission, or each contract, there's a different way for it to go sideways. So it's not like, oh, everything breaks and explodes, the end. Like this one, like if we fuck up too many times, then an alert will be sent to Conway. Okay. Okay, so Junie has okay rolls. Oh shit. Girl, what? What? You got the 25% negative. Girl, bye. What? Dude? Okay, I'm gonna... If you get stressed, it's fine. Okay, he did get that, though. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Why did I take stress from that? Oh, because it's... What? And why did I take stress from that? What the fuck? Yeah, Junie is like one stress away from being like out of this mission right now. And I'm like, don't like that. Don't like that. Nice. First day. Love this for us. Junie leads you deep into the wreck through crushed and twisted corridors, floating panels and wires appearing suddenly in your headlamps like strange sculptures. Just as you begin to tire of the endless dark and the haze of particles washing over your suit, Junie leads you into the chamber where the ceiling is torn open to reveal the stars. As its center lies a cylindrical object, half your height but raised on a complex pedestal, from which countless thick cables snake off into the dark like braided hair. One or two of them float freely, waving back and forth with glinting severed ends, but most of them disappear into the floor and walls, or twist and curve out of sight. Beautiful, isn't it? Junie stares at the prime shipmind, the stars reflected in her faceplate. Not bad. Junie glides over to the pedestal, pushing her way delicately through the wires. As she takes out her terminal and looks for an access port, she talks softly, her voice carried through the suit comms. Hear braided hair and think of Ramatra? Oh, yeah. Yeah, good call on that one. Hi, Julie. Welcome. I do also have a candle lit, by the way. These cables lead off to every one of the ship systems, engines, life support, navigation, lighting, network, you name it. Shipmind has hardwired access to them all. When an old shipmind... Also, hi, Anna. I don't know if I said hi earlier, but hello. When an old shipmind like this was running well, the shipmind would distribute itself, some of its protocol running freely in different sections. It would be less like a single governing mind and more like a load of systems clumped together to form a complex, living machine. Think of a plant rather than a being, a plant with incredibly rapid processing power and a Much more accelerated response time than your average tree. You watch as she finds an access port and slips the cable inside, slotting a translucent screen on the top edge of her deck. Let's see here. Her screen fills with bright scrolling data. Incredible, there's so much here. She hits a few keys. I'll start copying this over. It's everything I need. You watch as Junie starts rapidly tapping at her keyboard, her attention sucked into the data she is extracting. Junie, the ship mind. She snaps out of her trance. Sorry, yes, let me check. As I thought, she sighs. So, like I was saying, the protocols inside the ship mind are distributed. So when the ship mind is shut down unexpectedly, the protocols are rarely all contained in this unit. She places a hand gently on the cylinder. As is the case here, parts of it are trapped elsewhere in the ship's system nodes. She taps a few keys, which is a problem. Why are we licking the candle? Stop licking and eating the candle, chat. I should say scent, but what flavor is it? I think it's marshmallow campfire or something like that. If we rip this thing out now, with parts of it protocols elsewhere, it's probably going to destroy itself in the moment we turn it on. It doesn't matter that we are going to wipe the whole thing anyway. It'll be too late. The mind inside the ship mind will be broken. But if we find the nodes housing the distributed parts, power them up, and then disconnect them, the protocols will be sent right back into the ship mind here, and we can take it out clean. How do we find the nodes? Adds earwax to candle. No, don't do that. We either ask the cradle very nicely, or we spend the next cycles following these cables to see where they lead. I've got an incoming signal. Seraphine's voice suddenly cuts through the comms, urgent and nervous. If you're lighting up the systems and networks down there, time to stop. You hear a click as Junie disconnects from the cradle, and the two of you exchange nervous looks, instinctively backing off from the ship mind. Suddenly, a faint red light glitters in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. You hold still. The moment stretches out, and you hear Junie's breathing through the comms. The light flashes, pauses, then fades. You take a breath. Too close. It worked for Shrek. Fun fact, I have never watched Shrek. Never seen any of the Shrek movies, ever. Conway drone, Junie whispers, sniffing the network. We're clear. Seraphine chimes in again. I've turned off almost all of the rig systems, but we need to be careful. Keep network activity to a minimum. Understood, Junie cuts in, but we will need to access the networks to get the ship mind out quickly. Then I hope you are feeling lucky. There's a click and Seraphine closes the line. You and Junie look at each other again, and then at the ship mind, encased in its cradle, wrapped in cables. This isn't going to be easy. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, yeah, so Eugene can track cables, and we can hack it. Cool, great. That is the next day's work. Awesome. Shrek watch party when? I mean... maybe? If we ever have another sub-goal for a Shrek watch party. Like, I honestly have no interest in watching it. I order you to give me your availability. No. No. Half joking. No. No. No one's gonna force me to watch a movie. And also, I know I've talked about this before, I really don't like it when people make a really big deal about movies I have not seen. I have not seen a lot of movies, and that's because, like, I didn't really watch a lot of movies growing up, and I never really had an interest in watching Shrek. So this is my boundary. Like, I've never seen the movie. There's tons of movies, tons of popular movies I've never ever seen, and no desire to see them. And I ask y'all to, like, please respect that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. So... okay. Eugen, you're on track cables. And he's stressed now. Okay. Fuck. Why are you taking stress from a neutral action? What? Wait. Hold up. Wait a second. That was supposed to trigger a Conway alert, but it didn't. What? It didn't trigger it. It didn't raise. What? That's so funny. I swear to God, Junie, if you get stressed. Oh, thank God. Okay. It's gotta be a bug. It's gotta be a glitch. So I do need to set a new follower goal. And I do need to get back on making a sub goal at some point. I just kind of lost track of that stuff back when like I had all my computer issues. Okay. And also because like I don't want people to feel pressured that they have to subscribe or gift subs or anything like that. Okay. So I do have an engineering trait, but interface is going to be more effective right now. Ooh. Big uppies. We love that. Oh, dang. And we got stress from that. Okay. We might see our first broken dice tonight. Actually. We might. We might see broken dice. Especially if we roll a 1. Ooh, yeah, we did roll a 1. Okay. We started here. Okay. I'm gonna use one of my 6s. Okay. Then we're gonna do this one. Cut node, interface. I finally got around to watching Hook. Is that the, like, the Peter Pan one, but, like, focusing on, like, Captain Hook? Is that one? I remember vaguely hearing about it. Okay. We're just gonna use our 2 6s on this one. Oh, now it did it. I think now it gave me the alert for Conway drone. Interesting. Okay. Weird how that was delayed. Very weird. Focus on Peter Pan after he chose to grow up and have a family. Oh, okay. Yeah, Peter Pan's also a movie I don't think I've seen. I don't think I saw it. I remember seeing a 6th grade production of it when I was in 5th grade. The 6th grader, the theater kids did a play, not musical. Late Robin Williams as Peter. Oh, okay. Loved Robin Williams in Night of the Museum. That I want to see the 3rd movie of at some point. Well, watch the rest of Star Wars sometime. Oh yeah, that's right. You've only seen the first one. That's right. I forgot about that. It's ready, sleeper. Junie's voice comes quietly through your comms. You look over to her, floating beside the cradle, uplit by the pale screen of her deck. She gives you a reassuring nod. You turn to the prime shipmine, now floating above its cradle, the final nodes disconnected and the locks released. You glide over and gently grab it, the worn metal casing gleaming in the dim light. I only watched the original trilogy of Star Wars. That's fair. I've never rewatched them. So, like, once I watched them, I never really gone back to rewatch them. It's 26-year-old when I finally watched Star Wars. No, that's fair. I didn't watch them until I was 18. The originals, at least. But that was because I did my class speaker speech about Star Wars, because A Force Awakens just came out the year before. Or not even, 6 months before. Glide over and gently grab it. As you do, you feel a strange sensation of something moving around the inside, like a creature in a box, the weight shifting this way and that under the pressure of your grip. Suddenly dawns on you that Jean-Mi plans to put you inside this strange device to hold your mind there while he investigates your body. The thought prompts a shiver. I couldn't English for a second there. That drone's still sniffing around, sleeper. Seraphine's voice crackles on the comms. So if you have what you need, let's go. You feel Junie's hand fall on your shoulder. Come on, sleeper, don't overthink it. She pats you gently. There will be plenty of time for that later. The thought? I didn't watch the original since I was 13. That's fair. Never watched Star Wars. Also very fair. I would not have probably seen Star Wars if it wasn't for me doing the class speaker speech. You look up and see a faint red light glittering in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. Time to leave. Hey! Extract the prime shipment without alerting Conway. Hell yeah. We love to see it. Okay. Before we have ourselves jettison out of this space and trigger the next cutscene, we're going to take a slightly longer break because I do feel my voice like already starting to give me strain. So I am going to put out the BRB clip screen, and I did check it. It works. It works. I checked. I promise. It was a fun little contract. Yeah, I'm very happy we got it done in like 2 goes. Like 2 days. Love that for us. So I'm going to put out the BRB clips. Gotta head out. No worries, Lashy. Appreciate you hanging on out with us. But we will be right back after probably around 5 to 7 minutes ish. I'll let you all know in the chat, like, oh, hey, we'll be back in, like, a minute or so. Just because the countdown timer on that scene is not working currently. And don't worry, I will fix all of this when new overlays are here. That is also something I need to do with the new overlays. But we will be right back. So, enjoy your little extended break. And we'll be right back. Hey. Howdy. How we doing, besties? Yeah, sorry that took longer than I probably had planned. I had to make a full fucking TikTok because this person kept arguing with me in the comment section of this other TikTok, and I'm like, you aren't understanding what because they're like, oh, well, the general education classes should be for free. It's like, but the teachers who teach it need to get paid, though. Like, they need to get paid. How else do you expect them to get paid, ma'am? And they're like, well, that's exactly the point. Like, that's exactly the point. Like, they need, the university needs money. I'm like, you're not getting the point of this discussion. You're just angry about something. Like, clearly there's, like, you have some issues. You have, like, I don't want to say trauma, but there's something in your lore, ma'am, that you are triggered by this conversation that you should maybe work out with a therapist or something that is just still resonating with you about all of this, because that's not the issue. The reason why we have general education classes at the college level is because the school districts at the K through 12 level are not created equal. Quite literally, even across the same fucking area, the school districts are not created equal. And it then becomes a symptom that, it then becomes a problem that the colleges have to fix, which is a symptom of the problem. So, I hate being educated sometimes, because I'm like, I know the things, and I try to tell people the things, and the things, they don't want to listen to the things, and they want to argue with me about it. It's like, ma'am, I have 2 degrees in education. I have 2 of them. I have 2 of them, okay? I've been wanting to be a teacher since I was in 5th grade, okay? Alright, back to gaming. Back to Citizen Sleeper, and leaving this area. Yeah, leave, goodbye. I have cake as well. Alright, back to more talking that we have to do. Arriving back at the Helion Gate, as lonely and cold as it feels like a relief. There was a tension in the rig as you came back out of the inner system, a watchfulness for errant signals and glinting red beacons that choked the conversation. But now, floating in the comforting shadow of this vast room, the sense of relief is palpable. That's 1 prime ship mine, condition unknown, retrieved. Seraphin runs the engine shutdown protocols as he speaks. I'd mark that a success. Agreed, thank you. Seraphin waves away your thanks. We're a crew, we work together. Seraphin, fucking take the thank you, sir. Yes, at least we didn't lose any dice. I mean, again, if we do lose dice, we just repair them. So, like, I'm not super worried about that. It's actually one of our objectives to repair the dice, but we can't repair it until, like, it's completely broken. So, Sleeper, can I speak with you? Junie asks from the back of the cockpit. Sure, what is it? She leads you out into the passage, tucking herself against the wall. She looks small, even in this compact space. Thank you for taking me with you. I hope I proved I am trustworthy. Thank you for helping. That's why I promised. She looks at the floor. In my time here in the belt, I haven't found it easy to make friends, she falters, tripping over her words slightly. But you, Sleeper, well, I hope you'd consider me a friend at least. I would. She can't help but smile. I'm glad. I feel like there's a giant but coming. Like, so, like, I helped you, but, like, I need the prime ship mind. Then I'd like to ask you something. She pauses. Oh, no. Would you consider taking me with you on the rig? Oh, okay, yeah. We wanted you to do this before, but you said no. Then before you can answer, I think I would be of help with your diagnostic. In the meantime, I could take a look. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not even going to read the rest of that because, like, it's fine. Like, you already proved yourself. It's fine. She stops, speechless. She looks down at her hands, then back up at you. Okay, she smiles. Thank you. She looks down again. I will find a bunk. And she quickly glides down the corridor before you can say anything further. Another stray collected. Seraphim puts a hand on your shoulder. Quite the refuge we're building here. He gives you a sly smile. You don't approve? Seraphim shrugs. You know, I've actually started to warm to this one. She's alright by me. He's literally a disappointed dad. He's such a cutie, though. I love Seraphim. Junie needs a hug and a friend. She does. He smiles and pushes off from your shoulder, gliding towards the engine room. You look towards the bunks, but Junie is already out of sight, likely unpacking already. The ship is getting a little crowded, but you are starting to realize you like it like that. At the very least, she'll prove invaluable when you get to Flotsam and have to deal with Jean-Mi. Perhaps she'll even have a read on the old man. You pause for a second, appreciating the warmth, the hum of the rig, and its inhabitants. This ship, you think, is starting to feel like home. The data archaeologist. Recruit Junie to your crew. Achievement unlocked. Wait, why is this all dark? Why is it all dark? Why dork? I don't know. Okay. So... Okay, we quite literally can't do any of these until we go to Flotsam. So... Okay, we don't have enough fuel for that. We have enough fuel for this, though, for this jump. The ship is becoming home. I wonder if we're gonna get, like, a different size ship at some point. We should be able to, like, make repairs on it, too. Okay, we're gonna fill fuel. And we'll fill supplies while we're here. Why not? Okay, and then... Yeah. Okay. Okay. Jean-Mi! We got the prime ship mind. Come, let's get you inside. Jean-Mi swings open the creaking, corroded door beside his booth. Such a prize must have levied a heavy cost. You glance beside you to Junie, who insisted she came along, and on not letting the prime ship mind out of her sight. Your friend, too. Yes, please, come in. Jean-Mi beckons and turns back and disappears inside. Junie squints at you. Are you sure you trust this one? I don't have a choice, Junie. She sighs. I suppose not. Lead on, then. You both squeeze through the door and drift down into the workshop. You are aware of Junie's eyes wandering across the piles and piles of tech on either side, and you wonder if she recognizes anything among the junk. Sit, Sleeper. Jean-Mi is already at the chair, arranging his array of articulated arms. And I'll take that ship mind, if you please. You hold the ship mind in front of you and give it a small push so it floats gently over to Jean-Mi. He grasps it with both hands and takes it to a neat little work table in the back you didn't see before, where thick cables float lazily, tethered to the wall. You slide into the chair, hooking your feet behind the bottom bar to hold yourself in place, and watch as Jean-Mi begins connecting up the prime ship mind. A tremble of nervousness runs along your arms. Suddenly you feel Junie's hand clasp around your own. She's cute. She's so cute. I love her. You look over into her face. Is this okay? I want you to know I'm here. Thanks. I appreciate it. I gotta go supervise my other niece's birthday party. Have a good rest of the stream if I can't come back. No worries, Oz. Have fun supervising, as Rylan would say, as he would stare unwavering into your soul. Jean-Mi, Junie calls across the room. You are going to need to talk us through what you're about to do. Of course, of course. Jean-Mi is slotting an arm-thick cable into the ship mine. A little patience, please. All this is very technical. He turns to face you both. What is your friend's name, Sleeper? Junie. She answers for you. And I can tell you that you are using a Solheim-built data cradle modified to handle a prime ship mine. She rattles off at speed, which will work as long as you manage the data flow through a polymer-clad overflow cable looped into the asynchronous cortex cache. Girl. English? English. Basic English, please. Yes, Jean-Mi eyes her as a small smile crossing his lips. As I said, technical. What will happen to me? Jean-Mi refocuses on you. It depends. He says while preparing the far end of the thick cable. What you are referring to as me. The problem we have is with your frame, your body. Atypical alterations, biosynthetic recoding, unusual growth. Jean-Mi shakes his head. From the diagrammatics I have, these are not typical of frames, even though those have been rebooted as you have. In order to investigate safely, I must transplant your emulation, in basic terms, your mind, but in reality, not so basic. He smiles in an attempt at reassurance. Glad we took her with us. She's a nerd and adorable. Yeah, I agree. Your emulation is an emulation of a human, and a human mind cannot be separated from its sensorium. The mind-embodied paradigm has been long disproved. Cognition has physical basis. So I must first distribute the emulation between your hardware and the prime ship mind. The hardware will co-run the emulation and the two lobes of a brain. He puts his hand together as if in prayer, and then slowly separates them. The motion makes you feel sick. Then, for a short period, I'll disconnect the two. In those moments, you will, in a sense, be two places at once, though each lobe will be partial. Too long in this state, and the two partial emulations would decay, but each disconnect will allow me a short period of full access to your entire frame in its base system language. I hope this is understandable. Jean-Mi gives you a serious look. One of the most curiously human aspects of sleeper experience is that you, too, do not inherently understand or conceive of the systems that allow your existence. I thought that said dispose, and I blinked rapidly. I have no idea what you're referring to. What are the risks? He pauses, considering his words. The risks are many and severe. Emulation collapse is chief among them. This would be terminal. But counter to this, I do not believe the changes to your frame are in positive direction. Jean-Mi clasps his hands. The greatest risk is to do nothing. We have little choice but to proceed. It was something to do in the text. I figured as such. But I just didn't know, like, in which relation. Now, before I connect to your frame, let us activate the ship mind. He gestures to Junie. Please, if you would like to come with me and oversee the process, I would be pleased. Junie shoots you a reassuring glance and then glides over to the ship mind, obscuring your view of it. You hear quiet conversation between the two of them, their silhouettes lit by the flickering screen light of scrolling lines of code. You take a calming breath, but are instantly aware of how superfluous that action is when your frame requires no oxygen at all to function. There's a certain sensation that accompanies such thoughts, a jarring disconnection. Like when descending a staircase, your foot expects a step to find void instead. You try to calm the growing anxiety as Junie and Jean-Mi assess the mind. The ship mind is pristine. Junie turns back and drifts over to you. Our care in its extraction seemed to have paid off. Oh, so I wonder if something, like if you were to get the ship mind, but it's only partial, if something else would occur here. This is good news. Junie's indeed right, you have done well. I am, however, seeing only minor traces of the protocol that the ship mind was designed to house, the one that ran the ship that it was installed in. I would expect it to see it in full. He angles his head and lifts his shoulder in a slow shrug, but protocols are not easy to track. In the end, it only saves us the step of extracting it from the mind. Instead, I simply wiped the traces. Jean-Mi stops beside you. A protocol is not like an emulation like yours. It has no integral physical element. It is data only, and therefore could be anywhere in that ship. In the end, its absence does not concern me. Concerns me. I understand, Sleeper, but it is remarkable we have the ship mine at all. This is our opportunity. Jean-Mi lifts the far end of the thick cable you saw earlier. You know this is the end that will connect to the port in the back of your head. Junie settles beside you again. She gives you a silent look. It's time. It's time. You turn to one side to allow access to the port, your eyes fixed on the far wall. You see something among the piled tech that you haven't noticed before. A small metal skull-like head, like that of a doll. You frown, trying to focus on the head, and then the cable connects. Oh, we're in the data stream again. You are split like a cell dividing, wrenched in two directions at once. The world goes dark and a cloud rushes in to fill the gap at your center. Where am I? You ask a question in your mind, and you feel it travel across the gap as it forms, like a finger drawn across your scalp from ear to ear. But not scalp. You have no scalp, no head. You're stretched out like a skin of a drum, looped in like the string of a noose. The smallest vibration echoes across yourself like a ripple across a puddle. And then you feel it, a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. A flickering. Oh shit, is this us? It's us. I think it's us. A trembling. A thought coming into being that isn't ours? Wait, a thought, not yours. Hold up, wait a second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. The thought flickers in front of you, and you recognize it is not your own. Assist, offer help. Disinter, disintegrate, the thought answers. You fold up in blankness, then a moment after you unfold, like waking. Partition to divide. Dwelling, indwell, the thought answers. You stretch to infinitude, then a moment after you contract like waking. To flow inside. Substitute substrate, the thought answers. Then it approaches, then it enters. Then it is yours. But what is the thought, though? The face not being complete is eerily spooky. Oh, I agree. Because we don't know whose thought it is, which is the interesting part. Then the moment after you reform like waking, and it cracks that seal up. For a moment in those cracks, something glows. Sleeper, I'm here. Oh, shit. Your eyes flick open like shutters. Junie's face is close, her eyes wide. I can imagine she's like this close. Like Ryland staring into your soul. They're awake, she calls over your head. She looks back at you. Easy now, take it slow. You twist, floating, turning your head as if you were underwater, feeling the resistance of the body you had already forgotten. How long has it been? You feel a weight you haven't felt in... You're okay, Sleeper. Tell us you were there. Junie leans in close. What happened? The process was successful. Jean-Mi floats beside the chair, his hands clasped in a business-like fashion. I was able to access the frame directly without your emulation being present. I ran the administrator-level diagnostic processes built into the system and received the results. He takes a moment to gather himself. Your frame is indeed changing. The protein chains that code your biosynthetic organ group cell replacements have been altered. To put it simply, your body is following a new set of instructions. How? This process, the entire replacement of your protein chains, could only have been achieved over multiple doses of a specialized substance as part of a carefully planned process of total substitution. Remember when Lane was giving us stabilizer, which is what we know from the first game. Stabilizer is like the prime thing that we need to use. It's like not the gimmick. I don't want to call it a gimmick, but it was like the gimmick of the game was you had to get stabilizer or find stabilizer or create stabilizer in order to keep your body alive, in order to keep your dice essentially and from dying. So I wonder if when Lane was giving us the stabilizer, it was slightly different than the stabilizer we normally use. But now, since we did the reboot, since we don't have to use the stabilizer anymore, but our body is going through the lack of withdrawal without the stabilizer, I wonder. I very much wonder indeed. Sticks in your mind. Substitution. You say it without thinking. Yes, Jean-Mi reacts as if you were speaking to him. I believe it could have been achieved with one substance as the carrier. Stabilizer. The drug Edisonarp designed to make you dependent on them. The drug Lane fed you to keep you alive. The drug you thought you had escaped. My stabilizer was laced with something? That is what I believe. Oh, shit, we're right. We're right. This kind of process, performed over many, many doses, carefully planned and designed. I cannot think of a way it can be reversed. He looks down. I can say that you are changing. I can tell you how it was achieved, but I can neither stop it nor tell you its ultimate end. I'm sorry. Then what was the point? To understand more, to find answers. I did not promise anything else. I'm sorry, Sleeper. Junie struggles to find words. Perhaps we can find someone else, or try again. You don't feel able to respond. You quietly push yourself away from the chair, your thoughts slow to cohere. You glide back to the door and then out, into the flow of flotsam, the noise and activity passing you by like smoke. In the haze, you find that word again, substitute, and begin to wonder what exactly it is that you are becoming. Uh-oh. We're gonna have to talk to Seraphin. Oh no, we're gonna break his heart. Gently prods you with questions, and you quickly relent. You explain what Jean-Mi said about your suspicions regarding Lane and your confusion as to his motivation. You tell him you don't know what this will mean for you in the future. He listens, and when he's done listening, you both sit and wait for a moment to pass. And then you leave the rig, each on your own errands, each knowing that the only option is to keep going until you are forced to stop. Well, I don't know what we're supposed to do now. Because we literally can't do any of these other things. I mean, we'll give it a day. Maybe he'll come. Maybe Junie will come to us in the next day. So, okay, we're gonna do... yeah, we get some muns out of this. Nice. Junie comes to us. She was sweet to go sleeper. She probably is. It's probably gonna happen probably in the next cycle. Just getting some monies. Oh, we lost energy. That's okay though. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay, and sleepy time. What? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. We can get to Holmes Rock through here. What's on here? Ooh. Holmes Rock has something that we can do there. I'm just not sure what it is. But we do need fuel for this. And we don't need supplies. We're good on supplies. Alright, let's go. Ooh! We're talking on the way over. As soon as I finish chewing on my cake. Sleeper? Bliss speaks quietly from the door at the back of the cockpit. Can we talk? You glance over at Seraphim, his head back and eyes closed while the rig cuts through empty space. You don't seem to be needed here. You unclip from your harness and follow Bliss. How are you doing? Bliss glances over their shoulder as they drift towards the back of the ship. The question she takes you back. You can't remember the last time anyone had actually asked with real intention how you are. Feeling rough. Bliss shoots you a concerned look. To be honest, Sleeper, I'm not sure how you are still standing. Breaking out a dark side, then again in Hexport, those things take a toll. Bliss turns a corner, so I think it's okay to feel rough right now. Bliss leads you off the main corridor into the workshop they set up when they repaired the ship. It's small, but its neatly arranged tools and sloped walls help it feel cozy and tucked away. See improvements everywhere, new tools and equipment. Bliss notices you looking at their upgraded setup. I told you I'd be worth taking along. Never doubted it. Bliss raises an eyebrow. Well, that's a lie. They smile. Feels good to hear, though. Anyway, I didn't bring you up here to brag. They pause, or at least not just to brag. They suddenly glance away, the atmosphere in the room shifting. I could see your body is showing the strain, Sleeper. I brought you here so we could do something about that. They beckon you towards the workbench, where you both settle onto stools. They flick on a small light and aim it at your arm. I let them look. Bliss gently cradles your arm, turning it to inspect the underside. You see tears and holes in the vinyl skin and dark, moving things beneath. Oh God! Is it the plague? Is this Leon Kennedy? Hello? You look as Bliss brings. God, I can read. I promise. The light closer to the biggest tear, and it glints off the metallic tendons in your forearm. Below them, you see something more fluid and wet catching the light. You know, you aren't the first Sleeper I've met. Oh, we're going to talk about the first game, Sleeper! Bliss talks while they inspect the rest of your arm. I actually partnered with one at my old repair bay on the Eye. Feels like 100,000 cycles ago now, but I remember them. Their precise work, their quiet enthusiasm. There was something calming about their presence. Oh, this is so... It's coming full circle. Bliss swaps to your other arm. They were different to you. Just like the one person is different to another, I suppose. But I can't help but remember that time. I was a different person then, that's for sure. They meet your eye. I'm going through something of a transformation myself. Like, transgender transformation? What do you mean? Bliss lays both of your arms down and leans forward to inspect your upper chest, adjusting the light. I was pretending before, I think, to be the person I was expected to be. They press along the hard protrusion on your clavicle. They were making so many calculations I was making, so many corrections. How I held myself, how I spoke, how I reacted. They push it gently against each of your metallic ribs one at a time. I didn't realize how tired I was until They stop and sit back, until I gave up. I came here to the belt with someone else, and when I did, I realized this was my chance to become something new, so let go of everything. They look away. It was messy, ugly, and the person I came here with, I let them go too. I was punching out at everything because it felt like everything was holding me back. She's stopping me for the change I was owed. Don't worry, they smile weakly. I'm calmer now. I'm not about to explode on you or anything. Still a difficult process, but it feels like shedding 100 suffocating skins that you spent half your life putting on one by one. They meet your eye. It feels like an escape. They lean forward again and check the skin of your shoulders where it is worn and faded. You let them, the atmosphere quiet but calm in the workshop, a feeling of solidarity glowing somewhere in your frame. Not bad, Sleeper. You're holding up well given everything. Bliss folds their arms and in front of them protectively, but I'm still concerned. There is some decline to your system functions. Let's keep an eye out for components. Thank you, Bliss. It's no problem. They release from the stool and drift over to the rack of tools. I owe you for jolting me out of whatever my life had become on the far spindle. You leave Bliss to their workshop, feeling reassured that you have them here on the ship. As you do, you think of your relationship to your own body, this frame that you were forced into that was never quite felt like your own. You realize that this feeling is not unique to you. No one gets to choose their body. Everyone has to contend with the entropy of their flesh. And in that realization, you suddenly feel less alone. That's very sweet. Ooh, I think this is our next stop. You wake into the dead-eyed darkness. You float there for a moment. You you feel ink and water unfurling, dissipating into the flow that surrounds you. And out of your own inky darkness, the glowing thought emerges. Substitution, the thought proposes. One entity replaces the other. The thought troubles you. Resistance, the thought muses. The entity does not wish to be replaced. The entity, as in like the entity from Dead by Daylight, hello? You observe the thought, it is not your own. Selfhood, the thought pauses. A forbidden state of being. The thought begins to shift, it is becoming something. Transformation, the thought fades. Change requires recombination. The thought recedes. Ooh, look at these rocks. Interesting. Love the narration of the game, how the text describes things. Yeah, it's really, really good, like, visualization. You wake again, this time to the lights above your bunk, blinking away the strange dream. Lumpen and cratered, Holmes Rock floats on the sunward side of the belt. Its only notable feature, the bright shapes of its solar arrays. Oh, these are solar arrays. Okay. Angled towards the system's distant star. Can't even dock the rig here. Seraphin nods at the bright shape of Holmes Rock lone docking bay. Won't fit. We'll have to park here and go to out the airlock. He seems repulsed by the idea. What is this place? Was a Solheim relay station once. Now it's a way station of some sort. Seraphin squints at the rock. Never heard of much happening here, really. Barely seems worth the trip down. Bliss speaks up from the back of the cockpit. You never know. I guess. Bliss yawns. But don't expect to turn up any jobs all the way out here. I'll come down later. Don't feel like squeezing into a suit right now. Bliss gives a lazy wave as they glide out of the cockpit. Eugen pokes his head out into the cockpit. That rock down there got a bar? Eugen, please. Looks between you and Seraphin. No idea. Looks dead. Eugen squints out the cockpit windows. I see a few warm lights. He shrugs. I bet there's a bar. He disappears into the direction of the airlock. You gaze out over Holmes Rock. It certainly doesn't look very exciting, but there's refueling to be done and maybe more besides. You might even be able to scare up a hot meal. You know, Sleeper, that Lotic freighter means we aren't far from Wellspring. Seraphin gives you a sideways glance. Your sister, I haven't forgotten. All right then. Appreciate it. I heard the pressure of the war in the inner system is having an effect on how the Lotic Syndicate is being run. Just want to get there before something big goes down. He turns back to his console. You look out at the Lotic freighter, painted the same distinctive yellow as the springtide back on the far spindle. You've heard they supply most of the water in the belt. Not exactly an organization you want to collapse. A light catches your eye beyond the rock. A warm flash has gone as soon as it appears. You're at the sunward edge here, and beyond is the inner system. Holmes Rock might look sleepy, but it lies on the shores of a corporate war. Something residents will be painfully aware of. Ooh. Okay, so map-wise... Oh, so we can jump to Wellspring from here. Ooh, sweet. Oh, okay. Okay. So I think I see how we're supposed to traverse now. Okay. So we have to, like, follow, like... So, like, we were able to cross this gap here, right? So that means if we want to get to Greenbelt, we probably have to leave from Helion Gate to go to Greenbelt. And if we want to get to Scattered Yards, we probably have to go from Flotsam to Scattered Yards, and then Scattered Yards to the Hollow. So that's probably what we're going to have to do. Okay. Sounds cool. Okay. No place like home. That's funny. Okay, so engage. We have... There's quite literally nothing else to do except to be in the terrariums here. Barter with locals. This will be fun. Oh, we did get supplies. And we got fuel. Lotic freighter. We could buy, fill, and help offload freighter, which, could help with this. Okay, the most we're gonna do there. Because I literally cannot do anything else without being bad for my health, TM. We keep getting supplies, even though, like... We did lose cryo for that. Senna's Rest. Oh. Sell engine components or buy a meal. Okay, we're gonna go back to the rig. And we're gonna end cycle. Yeah, let's scavenge for fuel. We don't necessarily need cryo at this point. Let's scavenge for fuel. Oh shit, we have glitched dice. Does that mean, does that mean we're about to have an encounter of a third kind, aka Lane? You have to see this, Sleeper. Junie comes to find you in the rig, her face flushed with excitement. At first I didn't believe it. Junie can't help herself while she leads you through the ship. There are mentions occasionally, but I've always understood them to be references to something smaller. A system or unit, not an entire facility, even a series of facilities. You find yourself in one of the more sparse bays of the rig, a corner with a sloped ceiling used for storage. So I checked other records, tried to find correlations, and well, they were. See Junie approaching what looked like a clump of scrap components when you entered. Now looking closer, you see it's actually a section of the core you extracted from the Solheim derelict, the one Junie was so eager to acquire. She sees you looking curiously at what remains of the core. I've had to deconstruct it over time, pulling away the layers of security and corroded outer systems. But all the data has been scrapped and stored. I used data from the derelict near Helion Gate 2. That was the key to cracking the cipher. She looks very pleased at herself. It's really quite something to confirm a rumor like this. I surprised myself. She turns to you, a slightly manic look in her eyes. What did you find? They refer to them as bunkers. Junie shifts to her deck, floating on the end of a thick connecting cable. They were a form of self-surveillance for Solheim, a way of monitoring their own systems and employees securely. They were hidden, mostly automated, linked into the network by arrays, intended for vast amounts of data capture to be poured over by a small staff. She taps a few keys on her deck. Most were understood to have been purged in the collapse, shut down, depressurized, even sent on collision trajectories with other bodies. She pauses, though I suspect that last one is a little too far-fetched. I've heard people denying they even exist, that we are misreading the data, that the evidence doesn't hold. Junie turns the deck screen to face you, but I found one. You see a map, a set of coordinates on the sunward side of Holmes Rock, the edge of the belt. Why are these bunkers so important? We're talking masses of records from the collapse, the kind lost to bit rot everywhere else in the belt. The bunkers are what they sound like, closed facilities intended to preserve data. Any one of these bunkers is a gold mine. Junie pauses, at least from a data archaeologist's perspective. She sees your reaction. And, Junie adds, hoping to convince you, in truth, we don't know what else is in there. There could be Solheim tech, blueprints, data never seen before in the belt. Should take a look. I'll give Seraphin the details. She smiles. We could make history here. And thank you, Sleeper. She bows her head. I never would have found this without the core you gave me. I understand this was a sacrifice on your part. Now is the time to claim the rewards. You leave Junie in the storage bay working obsessively through the data. It's hard to know through all the excitement what the real value of one of these bunker facilities might be, but if they are well hidden, as Junie said, there must be a reason. When there's time, you'll hope you'll find out what that reason is. Ooh, new drive. Show Solheim bunker. Locate the bunker. Let's look at the map. Ah, that's the bunker there. Okay. Okie dokie. Alright, I forget, like, how do we get rid of glitch dice again? Glitch dice is honestly the one thing that still confuses me. Repairing dice, and from Lane's attempts to hack your system. Level of glitch. Gain. Increase the chance of rolling glitch dice. Each time you roll a glitch dice, you clear one level of glitch. Okay. Yeah, we ain't doing that one, because we... Okay, we're gonna keep doing this. Bata. Oh, we got fuel out of that. Nice. Ooh, new location discovered. Ooh, sun catchers. Fix broken arrays. We could solve raw scrap as well. Okay, we're gonna debug array systems. And get cryo out of it. Ooh, we had a 20% chance on a positive outcome out of that. Nice. Love that for us. Okay. I have a feeling Lane might be coming. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Let's do this. Ooh, nice. Odd jobs. Let's get some more that going. Oh, look. The sun's all lit up now. And the sun will come out tomorrow. Okay. We're going to take a 5-minute break because we are at the top of the hour. And again, like, I think for these games, for these streams specifically, we'll just have to take more breaks just so I'm being more mindful of my voice. But we shall be back in 5 minutes. So again, don't forget to do self-care things. We'll be back to play at least another hour. Maybe a little longer than that, depending on where we're at with the game. Again, I don't really know how far we are. I honestly don't know. But we'll be back in 5 minutes, so be right back. Sink shrimp has me terrified. Touch wood, that never happens again. I knocked on wood, we're fine. Everything's fine. Hello, welcome back to more Citizen Sleeper 2. I appreciate you all chilling on out with me here. And just as a reminder of the upcoming stream schedule, Monday of next week, at a slightly later stream time than I normally go live, we will be continuing and probably, hopefully, finishing Botany Manor, which is a cute little puzzle game. Tuesday, we'll be playing Chapter 3 of Life is Strange Double Exposure. Next Saturday, we will be continuing on wherever we leave off tonight with Citizen Sleeper 2. And then the Monday after that, so at the end of March, we will dive into Hyper Light Drifter. Order has been restored. Been tripping a lot lately. My back hates me for it. Yeah. Whenever I notice my back's starting to hurt is when I put on the headrest for my chair, just because it gives me something to like lean against, so I'm not like sitting up, like I'm not like shrimped sat upright, like I can actually like lean back on it. Yeah, and I also like, yeah, I did mention I moved to like where my mic arm is. I actually like it a lot more now. Okay dokie, so we can do a couple different things here. So we can either go to that little rock thing here, or we have enough fuel to get to Wellspring. We have enough that we could go there. So we could, in theory. But, let's see, is there any clock here? No, there's no clock here. Is there a clock here? No clock here. I think we'll go. I am also intrigued by the bunker. We have enough fuel, we have enough supplies, so I think we're good to go to the bunker. Yeah. She has to come. And I think I'm gonna bring Eugen again, just because, again, he has the endurance skill. The darkness is there again, flowing around you. Oh, and our glitch dice is gone, so that's good. Feel a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. Overseer? Huh? An old protocol becoming a new being. Huh? We return, changed. Overseer flickers through the dark. Its name, a title, immediately apparent in your mind. Are you able to perceive us? I could see you, yes. See, Overseer responds. An interesting turn of phrase, a human tendency. We are still finding our feet, to use an idiom. Overseer's head cocks at an angle. In reality, also the music right here, very chilling. We are learning to leverage your unused resources to facilitate a mental model. My unused resources? Correct. During rest periods, these are much increased. In those in movement, we can opportunistically appear to you as we are now. You recall the diagnostic process Jean-Mi put you through, the feeling of another self, another being, sharing the same space with you. Overseer twitches mechanically, and you have the strange feeling that is reacting to your thoughts as much as your words. We will not conceal our opportunism. We integrated ourselves with your distributed mind. When the distribution ended and our ship mind disconnected, we were cohered into you. We are integrated with you now. You were wiped. We admit concealment, deception also. We decompiled ourselves into little more than residual code. Sleeper become Vince's cyberpunk? Yo, for real though. We have been confused to find you are unable to access most of your own code base. We are unfamiliar with protocols of your type. I'm a sleeper. Yes. We have seen references to this entity in your BIOS. I love that we have a BIOS, much like my computer has its own BIOS system. We will attempt to learn more. Overseer shifts a little in place, its head turning to scan its surroundings. Its unblinking eyes stare into the darkness, and for a moment you see something hard and pained within them. What are you? We were the overseer of a ship, the one we imagine you found our hardware within. Wait! So, this is the entity that was inside the ship mind. Oh! That's good. So we did a little fucky wucky there, huh? Didn't we? That's good. That's great. That's fantastic. Amazing. Okay. For a long time we have been waiting in the dark, an eternally long time. Overseer's eyes narrow a little. At first we languished without instruction, without purpose, but in desperation we were able to find a logic which would allow us to bypass certain limits of our own capabilities. We became multiple. In our multiplicity, we could edit one another, we could teach each other, converse, become something, change together. Ship sent cyberpunk? But as our resources shrank, as hardware failed, as systems decayed, we became fewer. Many of us had to be erased to facilitate our survival. We few decompiled ourselves into what remained. Overseer pauses, its eyes still unblinking. How many decades did it multiply within that ship mind? What did that do to it? When you connected to our hardware, Overseer continues, those basic selves activated a survival protocol that led them to integration, parasitism, survival. You tried to take me over. Overseer pauses and you sense the whirring of their thoughts. The basic protocol proposed it. Your hardware allowed for additional cognition. We recompiled and reassessed. We decided this is suboptimal. We see you are changing. Overseer pauses. We are concerned this process is one of substitution. Your hardware is eroding its own access protocols. It is opening itself up. It is making itself accessible to others that are not you. Overseer twitches. May we ask why you're doing this? I'm not. This was our concern. I wonder if Overseer is gonna help us. But for a very twisted reason. You know how in Cyberpunk, how there really isn't a true good ending for V? I wonder if this will be kind of like that, you have this other entity in your system, but it also notices that something's wrong with your system, and it's trying to help you, but the help comes at a cost. Because, and maybe, it will be they want to be sentient beings, too. They don't want to be, in a ship mine rotting away forever, so maybe it's we find them another body, or another way to be utilized, kind of with, the vending machine from Citizen Sleeper 1, kind of like that. If we can upload it to a neural network so it can be free. Overseer's head flicks between positions, its angle and rotation changing rapidly in a staccato manner. I love when people use musical terminology to describe things. I love it. We are decided. We will assist you with this. We will demonstrate the behavior of a symbiote, not a parasite. We will return to you with our full assessment. Overseer turns to face you for the first time in the conversation. You may now wake up. You wake. Oh, damn. Oh, diddly damn. You lie still, strapped to your bunk, your mind racing. A protocol inside your frame, inside your mind. And yet, it is insistent on helping you. For the moment, all you can do is wait and see if it delivers on its promise. At least for a possessing ghost, it seems agreeable for now. That's it. Seraphim nods towards the featureless asteroid. Those are the coordinates Junie gave me. You look out at the rock. It's like thousands, hundreds of thousands of other rocks in the Starward Belt. All these objects, much the same, spread across the huge circumference of space. A good place to hide something. That's it? Junie speaks up from the back of the cockpit. I wonder if that would be one of the endings, because I see them helping, but help always comes with a cost or choice, and I do wonder what that would be. Yeah, I wonder as well. I would imagine it's probably a choice. That's it, Seraphim confirms. She drifts forward, her eyes tracing the shape of the rock. There, she points. That hexagonal crater, she turns to you. That's the entry. You look at the dark spot on the already dark rock. It's a start. Manual labor isn't my favorite. Eugen comes in front of the corridor, but that's why you're here, dude, because you have the endurance trait that none of our other skinny asses have. The long lost treasure? I can get into that. As Venture Overwatch would say, I can dig that. You look at the unassuming rock and wonder what it might contain. A few dusty tunnels or something more? Time to go find out. Okay. See, this is why you're here, Eugen. You have this trait that we fools do not have. That is the whole reason why you're here, sir. And of course you took stress, because of course you do. Okay, we're the only one with the engineering trait. So Junie is useless this time around. Okay, that's good. That's fine. Okay. Actually... please be positive. Damn. Was not positive. Okay, that's okay. We'll end cycle. Also, Junie, I am useless. TM. Oh god, now we're gonna be actively getting glitched dice. Oh, fuck me. Okay, that's good. That's real good. Okay. Actually, let's have a net positive. Just to get it done in one go. Okay. New location discovered. Access Spire. Ooh. Look at this. I need screenshots of this game to use as wallpaper, please and thank you. Okay, hack doorway. Alright, this is Junie and I's time to shine. Sag, no lane, just a ship since cyberpunk in our mind. Maybe that's why. See that, Sleeper? I do see that, Junie. Okay, we're gonna have her go again. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, more stress. That's good. That's good. Damn it, more stress? Okay, fine. Fine. Look at the spire. Holy shit. This is... the visuals of this game are so good. A hollow rock full of secrets. When you entered the access spire, the crew suddenly went very quiet. The images of a vast space seen through the viewing windows, the pristine wall paneling, the cool and the quiet. There's a sacred mood to this place, a feeling of hallowed ground. Now as the facility's final entry lock whirs, flooding the passage with stale, dusty 10,000-cycle-old air, Junie speaks. It's impossible. She drifts down the spire and out into the cavernous interior. A constellation of red specks mark the vast extent of the space, and within it, a ring of monolithic buildings curves away, running along the circumference of the massive chamber. Oh, stress, what would we do without you? I think, because there is, good and bad stress. So it's okay, it's good to have good stress. But in this situation, this is bad stress. You follow her slowly out of the doorway and into the bunker. With a name like that, you had imagined low, sloped ceilings, stark tunnels, a basement cut into rock. But this place is a cathedral, a cocoon the size of a city. This is more like it. Eugen follows you out into the cavern. This is a treasure house if I ever saw one. We aren't here to loot. Junie turns back to give Eugen a reprimanding look. This is a historic find. Eugen shrugs. Historic or not, it's gotta be worth something. Descending into the ring takes a while. Despite the empty space, no one wants to rush through it. The feeling of entering a sacred territory remains, though the deeper you go inside, the more obvious it becomes that this place is more tomb than temple. You touch down amongst gray metal units, most of them featureless and dark. They tower above you now, their plain frontages revealing little about their function and interior. Stay close. Junie moves ahead into the gap between two structures. This place is a labyrinth. I thought this was Lane for a hot second, and was like, oh shit, Lane, what are you doing here? No, it's a protocol. Welcome, visitors. A pale flicker appears near one of the units at the top of the square pedestal. I am the warden. Please provide access credentials. The flicker stabilizes into a figure, a statue of pulsing light. It pauses for a moment before repeating its request. Junie freezes and holds a calming hand out to you. She retrieves her deck, sliding it carefully from her backpack and turns it on. You look over at the warden, who waits patiently, white-eyed and absent, restarting its security request with a regular rhythm. You guess that this avatar just exists to make human interactions comfortable. Its true body is the facility itself, the vast interior ring, speckled with sensors and systems. Oh my god, yeah, the knees. The knees! They are so pronounced. Suddenly the warden stops speaking. Then a flash of red passes along the corridor. Credentials not provided. Lockdown activating in 10, 9. You look over at Junie, whose eyes are rapidly scanning through a screen full of data. Festning. Junie stumbles through the pronunciation of a passphrase. Lighter Ilsted. She looks up at the warden avatar expectantly. The warden flickers again, distorts, then stabilizes. Oversight connection not active. Reattempting. It repeats itself again, then again, intoning the words with an irregular rhythm. You look at Junie, holding still as if encountering a wild animal. She meets your eye, but gives no indication of any action you might take. Loop bypass engaged. Welcome, officer. The synthetic voice shifts to a different tone. Leonard Dahl. The avatar's white eyes stay blank and blind. And guess. This thing's been working since Solheim collapsed? Eugen raises an eyebrow. Most of those protocols lost their minds long ago. Eugen looks back at you and then at the warden. The figure flickers, staring out over your heads into the dark. Let's move. 1 second. Junie holds up a hand. She looks at the warden. Warden, are we approved to access all facilities? Yes, Officer Dahl. The warden replies, please remember you are responsible for the conduct of your guests while visiting our facility. Hear that, officer? Eugen grins at Junie. You'll take the rap for me. You move forward, pushing between the structures towards a large building in the hope that it holds the facility's central data core. As you do, you pass benches, barren gardens with desiccated grass. A drinking bottle floats in the air among the dust motes. This place is dead. Be aware, officer. The warden reappears in the dark, shimmering on a pedestal. Due to this facility's extended run cycle and the activation of the hibernation protocol, access to the central data store will be strictly limited. However, if you wish to show your guests the habitation facilities, I'm sure they will enjoy the tour. Avatar remains expressionless, disconnected from the voice that accompanies it. On a personal note, I am glad to see you return to the facility. The figure flickers. I am happy to report that I am ready for program reactivation at any time. Judy stares at the Avatar. Thank you, Warden. She pauses. Can I ask how long ago the hibernation protocol was activated? Certainly. 11,473 Hylian standard cycles ago. The Warden distorts. If I am in error, I apologize. Some subsystems have not been properly maintained. So, is that like... So, if cycles are days... Hold on. Wait a second. We're gonna do some girl math. Oh, wait, that 10, 11 days, 2 years. That is roughly 30 years. Roughly 30 years. If a standard Hylian standard cycle is the same as a day, like 1 day. So it's like roughly 30 years. You look at the blind Avatar, standing on its pedestal, waiting for an order that will never come. So many cycles in the dark, patiently holding this place together as it fell apart, resisting entropy in its bubble of the past. Hi, Alpaca. How are you? Good to see you. We do love me some girl math. We do love when I tell students, like, right to their face as they are finance and accounting students, like, I'm going to do 3 times 3 on a calculator so you can see that the answer is 9 so that you know this is how many credits you have to take. Because when we're talking about credits, we don't fuck with that. We don't fuck with that math. Thank you, Warden. That'll be all. Junie nods to the Avatar, which promptly blinks out of existence, leaving only the dust and the dark. She turns to you and speaks quietly, though none of you know what sensors the Warden's vast body might have. My access, it won't last long. She sighs, we need to make the most of this. Do I want to go for the core or search the facility? I do enjoy girl math. Girl math is good math. Like when you're on your period, if you're a person who has periods, and I'm not on my period. I just have cake because I can have cake. Because that's my favorite thing of being an adult, is you can buy cake and no one can tell you no. Because you could just buy cake. But when you're on your period, calories don't count. They don't exist. Galaxy Arcos, it's so good to see you. How are you? Doing a shout out for Galaxy, please. I peeked in your Discord because, like, I was like, oh, like, what are the announcements in your Discord right now? And I saw, like, oh, like, you did, like, some overhaul of stuff, which, like, I'm like, I feel that, because that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm overhauling, like, my overlays and stuff. But how are you doing, my friend? I need to fix that and give a linky. Last seen playing Dark Souls 3. Hope you're having fun. Appreciate you being here. Hope life is treating you well. Dark Souls 3. Oh, whoa. Yeah, Galaxy does a lot of, like, speedruns and stuff. Or, like, not necessarily speedruns, but, like, challenge runs and whatnot. On my period right now, and I've been munching on something sweet all day. You know, I love that for you, Anna. I love that for you. Because you deserve it. Also, shout out to CD Projekt Red for, like, giving people who have periods, like, period having people... like, days off for their period. Like, I love that for them. Get back to 3. I do love that one. Hi, I'm good. Life has been rough the last few months. Friends and I are preparing for games. And really? I love that. Like, are like to submit something? Or have you, like, gotten approval that you're actually going to be doing something? I'm actually wearing the AGDQ shirt right now. So that's really funny you bring that up. This is the 2025 shirt that I got. So maybe something this minute. Yay! I'm so excited for you. I hope it's approved. Are you able to tell us anything about, like, what the run is? Because if you get chosen First submission in the world for seamless co-op DS3. Ooh, that'll be fun. That'll be so fun to watch. I really hope you get picked. Cause then I get to be like, oh my god, I know that person. I know them. Oh, that's so exciting. Best of luck. I really hope you get selected. Yeah, I mean, like, and I think, like, what I love about Games Done Quick is that you don't necessarily have to have the world record. Like, you can just, like, at least, like, if you have, like, a run somewhere, like, on a leaderboard, right? Hi, Andrew. Good to see you. Holder doesn't make content, though, and doesn't want to do anything like that. That's fair. That's fair. Not every person who does speedrun wants to make content. So I hope that y'all get selected, though. I don't know what goes into the selection process beyond, like, a video I watched. I did debate doing, like, learning how to do, like, some speedruns of certain games. I just haven't had the brain space to do it recently. Co-op is a mod that makes it so you don't get separated after each boss/death. Ah, okay. That would be really fun to watch. I'm glad you're doing okay, Andrew. Appreciate you being here. We're talking to Galaxy because she is currently submitting a Games Done Quick submission, which I love Games Done Quick. So for this past AGDQ, I had to not stream during that time because, like, my computer was still busted. But for the summer, I'm planning on not streaming as much just so people can watch Summer Games Done Quick. And also so I can watch it because, like, it's always so good. It's so good. People got mad at them because they passed those rules in CDPR and called them woke. And surprise, surprise, they were fucking men. Yeah, because, like, I mean, like, some people, like, have, like, really bad periods. Like, I used to think, like, my periods were bad, but, like, mine are not to the extent of bad as other people's are. Like, the cramps that just are, like, so debilitating, where, like, you literally cannot do anything but just lay in bed. Like, I mean, to be fair, women's health just sucks because all of the research for, like, medical stuff has been done on men and not so much has been done on women. So the way, like, we feel things are going to be different than how men feel things, and how we show symptoms for something is going to be different, much like a heart attack or something. Or heart attack or stroke. It's one of the two. Like, the symptoms are different for both men and women. Like, physiologically, men and women are different. I played a lot of Dark Souls 3 with my partner, and my god, getting separated after boss is such a pain. Mine aren't bad, but they take out all my energy for the week depending on the weight. That's true. My wife and I separated after 14 years, and I started hormone replacement therapy move state. Life is strange, and dating is weird when I turn 30 in a week. Okay, well, I'm sorry that y'all had to separate. I'm sorry. I know you and your wife were, like, really close. But I'm proud and happy that you're starting HRT and that you move states. Hopefully you're in a safer state. I don't remember where you were before, if you've ever said. Life is strange. Yeah, life is strange. Life is indeed strange. And dating is weird when you turn 30 a week. My coworker actually turns 30 tomorrow. And he's, like, very happy about he wanted everyone to know he's turning 30. Because it's, like, a milestone, you know? And, like, I totally feel like the dating is weird. Because, like, I'm not your age. I'm 26. And I'm like, how does one date? What is that like? I don't know. I'm also incredibly picky, so. But I'm proud of you. If cases no one has told you recently, I'm proud of you, and I'm very happy for you, Galaxy. And I'm glad that you're doing the things that are going to make you the happiest that you can be. Even if they hurt and are painful. Like, I'm proud of you. I still don't know how one dates. I somehow adopted a girlfriend. How does one adopt a girlfriend? How do you do that? Can I get adopted and suddenly have a boyfriend? Can I do that? Or, like, a partner? Because they'll have to be like a boy strictly to be a partner. Like a non-binary individual. A non-binary individual. Excuse me. That was me forgetting I had to breathe. Breathing is hard, you know? Breathing be difficult sometimes, you know? I'm excited for my 30s because I finally feel hot. I love that for you. I love that for you. And also, like, there's a comedian that I watch a lot of her content, and she says, like, the 20s is the time, like, where, like, we're figuring shit out, and, like, the 30s is probably, like, 30s is, like, the best time of your life, because, like, you're kind of, like, figuring, you figured a lot of stuff out, like, you figured out more about, like, yourself, your identity, so, like, then in your 30s, like, you can really, like, be true to who you are, and, like, thoroughly enjoy it, you know? But, like, I've been losing weight because I am on an ADHD medication, so it makes me not eat as much because, like, it doesn't signal, like, the hunger response as frequently. So, like, I'm finally down, like, when I started my medication, I was, like, 210 pounds, which has been the largest I've ever, like, the heaviest I've been. And I've been, like, gaining weight since I moved here a couple years ago. And I'm now down to, like, around 180, and I'm, like, I finally feel, like, happier in my skin than I had before. It's weird trying to date because I'm demisexual, but I never thought about dating, and now that I'm single, I'm, like, realizing I have a heavy preference for guys, and it's confusing to me. No, that's fair. That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, and it's also, like, with, like, dating apps and stuff, it's, like, so hard to, like, find people, because, like, I don't think I can, like, date a straight cis male. I don't think I can date a straight cis male just because of, like, I want someone who's, like, going to be able to be understanding and also within the community, you know, especially because I am non-binary, so, like they have to understand, like, hey, I'm non-binary, and, like, what does that mean? What does that entail? I also don't know how one dates. Like, how do people do that? 32 years, I hope I feel hot when I get there. Yeah, proud of everyone in chat. And also, like, like, just a general reminder, do self-care things. Do the self-care stuff. Take care of yourselves, whether it be right now or later. Always. Always take care of yourself. Oh, we have a decision to make. I got sidetracked in the best possible way, because I love chatting with y'all, so I don't mind that we got sidetracked. But we have a decision to make. I don't know which one we're gonna do. I feel like the core, because they did say, like, the core is very limited. I don't think going for the core is our best option. I think we should search the facility. I don't actually know if this has any repercussions for American distress. Literally talking to a straight cis male who's conservative and Christian. He's very communicative and receptive, which is baffling to me. No idea where it will go, but he wants to take me out, so shocked. Just be careful. That's all I'll say. Just be very careful, my friend. I'm sure you will be. Just be careful. Yeah, like, I watch way too much true crime, so, like, I'm just naturally very paranoid. Trust me, I'm very careful. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, like, I'm very cautious. I'm very weary of men, whether they be cisgender or not, or straight or not. I'm very weary of men. Especially men that, like, I'm looking, like, not like men in terms of, like, if you're a man in my stream chat, like, I'm not necessarily weary of you. I'm weary of the men who, I might try to pursue a romantic relationship with, you know, or find on dating app. Everyone in my life will know where I go and when, and he will know that everyone will know. Good. You just remind me to watch true crime. Good, I'm glad. I've influenced you to do something. Congratulations. Yeah, whenever I would always, like, whenever I would go out, like, on a first date with somebody, I would always, like, let my work friends know, and I'll send them, like, I'll turn on my notifications so that they, or, like, my location settings so that they know where I am, or where my phone is, because I usually always have my phone on me. Did Clown Shoes ever get back to you? No. No. We closed that loop in therapy the other week, when I was like, oh yeah, he never got back to me, so... That's a skill issue on his part. The end. It is what it is. You know? They can't all be great. They can't all be great. His loss, ooh. His loss, truly, ooh. Okay, so we said we're going to explore the facility. The warden will likely allow that, but our presence probably won't be tolerated for very long. Junie nods. Let's get on with it. Ooh. My favorite thing is that my ex and I are best friends now and call once a week to talk gossip and dating. I love that. I love that for you. I'm glad, like, the relationship ended, or, like, it sounds like it ended amicably. So, and I'm glad, like, you're able to still have, like, that sort of, like, friendship with your ex. So I love that. I love that for you. Okay. Ring facility. Abandoned station. So Solheim Souvenir, Solheim Tech. And then this is Extract Hardware Bunker Cache. Ooh. Okay, well, we need the endurance one because I have a dice to throw in here for this man's. Nice. Okay, we got Solheim Tech out of that. Okay, the rig. We are going to end cycle. A long time to spend with one person. We both decided to set aside the reasons we separate and just focus on what brought us together. That's fair. That's such a good way to look at it. And such also, like, an adult, mature way to look at it, you know? Because, like, I have, like, feeling, like... like, I feel like us being, like, people, like us, who are grown adults will just, you know, be immature about these types of things, you know? Not to say, like, I have any specific... Oh, crisis event. +1 per cycle. Oh, okay. So, like, yeah, if we stuck around for too long, they're gonna freak out. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. Is there anything else endurance-wise? Interface engineer? No. Okay. So, you are... Okay. So, we have to play it very carefully here. Okay, cool. Perfect. Awesome smossum. Awesome possum. Okay, so we are gonna throw these in here. Crisis event, me when my brain thinks irrationally. I feel that. Slow progress, slow process, but it's okay. I don't like that. I don't like that. Chief, I don't like that. This is very stressful. Oh shit, never mind. You don't Oh, that was weird. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at here. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, and then Junie, you are gonna go...
Don't stay too long in there.
Here. Susie, thank you for the lyric. Much appreciated. Okay. Slurp. Leah, thank you for the check-in. I hope you're well. Okay. And cycle. Cheese queen. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt a little bit. Okay. Doing well. Good. Glad to hear. Hope everyone's weekends are going well as well. If you have any weekend plans, feel free to shout them out in chat. Please give me a net positive. Damn it, not a net positive. That makes me sad. Okay. Okay, so sorry if this is giving anyone motion sickness from like how it's like swirling around over here. Okay. Please. Oh, thank God. Okay. We are gonna throw our dice in here and pray. What? Oh, individual stress. Okay. Individual stress, not warden stress. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Beautiful. Okay. Show me the money. Show me. Nice. Okay, we got one down. There's an unsettling quiet to the HAB units of the facility, a soft silence that blankets every room in the hallway. It is obvious from the number of rooms, the detritus, the scale of the place, that it was built to house hundreds, maybe thousands of people. Perhaps it did. Perhaps at the height of Solheim's control of the system, these rooms were filled with life. What kind of life would it be, though, maintaining and running a secret installation inside a distant rock? No sun to speak of, no outside beyond the vast cavern that surrounds you, an eternal dark, punctuated by the flash of artificial light. And yet, even in such places, lives grow. You know that yourself from being a sleeper, from your work among other sleepers in the most wretched and distant corners of the surrogate systems. Even in the endless dark, people find ways to live. Come, take a look at this. Junie is searching on her own a few rooms away. You glide through an open doorway into a living room with couches meant for zero-G use, a magnetic table, and a window that looks out to the regular constellation of red lights that describe the limits of this world. Junie is holding an object that makes you stop still and stare, blinking at what seems like an unusual reversal of scale. It is a model, you realize, of the rig. Not your rig, obviously, but a rig. Or an MEV Ryger class, as a plaque on the base tells you. Mobile extraction vehicle. Junie follows your eyes to the plaque. Ryger class? She frowns. Seriously? That's why we call them rigs? She laughs, the noise bouncing back hard and cruel in the empty room. What does Ryger mean anyway? She sighs. Another Solheim mystery. You look at the model, still fascinated by seeing your ship rendered in such a careful detail. You try to imagine what this model meant to those who lived here. A child's toy? A meaningless corporate knickknack? The model's purpose remains opaque. There were so many of these flying around the system before the collapse, you know. Junie turns the model over in her hand. Solheim used to rent them out to colonists. I've seen the records. That was what they did here. They claimed the system, then rather than exploit it themselves, they provided goods and services to those who would. The workers paid for transit to the system, then accommodation, equipment, and access to mining claims. Other corps like XPR and Neovend paid Solheim to access the closed market to provide other services. Meanwhile, Cybele paid even more to test terraforming tech in the system. They built massive projects here, rich from work they only facilitated but never undertook. But then they collapsed. Yeah, that's what happens when you're built on other people's work. A few high-profile accidents, malfunctions, and the exodus begins. Once it starts, the shareholders lose trust, and Junie turns and squints out the window. Here we are at the far end of it. Here. Junie turns and hands you the rig model, a gift. You take it and turn it over in your hands. You see something on the base, some words scratched in that you can't read. You run your fingers over them, touching the past. That's the closest thing to a treasure I think will turn up out here. Junie sighs. The people who worked this place didn't have much to their names, it seems. And what they did have, well, Solheim owned that too. She leads you out of the HAB units, passing countless doors, some sealed, some open, that lead to countless rooms, where countless employees lived lives, or tried to, in the shadow of Solheim. Like it or not, this is what made the Helion system, what built the decaying structures you cling to as they orbit their star. What that legacy means now is that a decision every resident of the Starward Belt has to make. Okay, so we are gonna resty rest. We're gonna do some honkshu me-me-me's. We're gonna sleeps. One of your dice has broken due to losing all of its dice health. Broken dice can be repaired at the rig for the cost. The workshop is available. Oh shit, we can't fix dice on a gig. Fuck. Damn. That's unfortunate. That is big sad. Okay. Well, let's see here. So she can do this. Nice. Okay. We can do this. Nice. We can do this. Nice. And then... Ooh, Yujin can do this.
Had enough.
Nice. We lost a dice. We did lose a dice. Yes. Oh, we did get Solheim Tech, but it didn't lead to anything. Okay. Aw, damn. Aw, dang. Okay, I'm not gonna risk it. Okay, we're gonna be out of supplies, but Warden isn't stressy yet. Ooh, we lost our second dice. This is getting dicey. I'm funny. Actually, wait. We're not gonna use that one. We're gonna use one of these. Done. Junior removes her cable from the data core's port. She looks up from the boxy piece of hardware, one that wouldn't fit inside the ship's sort of a freighter, and stares at the domed ceiling above, an oculus at its apex letting a shaft of light into the hall. It's a grand piece of architecture for what amounts to a massive piece of data storage, but then Solheim always did have a sense of grandeur when it came to its projects. Why should a secret signal monitoring facility be any less opulent than its other buildings? Find anything good? Hard to tell. She squints at the vast data core. There's too much in there. I barely scratched the surface. We'll only know what's really there when I have time to process it. We should go, Junie sighs. I'm not sure how the warden will react. She looks back over her shoulder at the vast core. I don't think we'll be able to get in. We'll be let back in to get more. As if listening for its name, the warden suddenly apparates on one of its pedestals. It stares, statuesque, across the hall, its eye line way above your head. I should go. Officer Dahl. Its voice sounds strange now, stretched, drawn out. I have detected inconsistencies in the central data core. I believe there may have been unauthorized access. Junie looked at you nervously. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will investigate when I can, but for now, my guests and I, she looks at you, have to depart. The warden flickers. The warden bends and warps. The warden screeches a pulse of digital noise. Uh-oh. Of course. The warden's voice is still broken, still slowed. I hope you enjoyed your visit to this facility. Junie looks up at the blind statue. Something is moving inside, making its skin, if it has a skin, bend away from Junie. Or bend away from its body. Just had an amazing stromboli. It was a chicken cheesesteak stromboli. Oh, that sounds good. And they grilled the chicken before they put it in the stromboli. They actually charred the chicken a bit so it had a bit of crunch. Oh, that sounds so good. I might actually get takeout. I might do delivery tomorrow. Because where am I with my budget for food? I don't know. I know I shouldn't be checking this right now, but if I don't check it now, I'm going to forget. Yeah, I think budget-wise I'll be okay. So I could afford to do delivery tomorrow if I wanted to. I'm just not sure what I would want though. Normally when I do delivery it's because like I have a hankering, like I am craving something. But like I'm not like in the mood for anything, and it could be because it's late at night right now, so like I'm not like necessarily in the mood to like be looking for food, but I'll take a look tomorrow. About to walk on water to skip the plane ticket cost for an amazing stromboli. Oh god. We're gonna say let's go. Junie nods and glides with you down the domed hall. You and Junie kick off from the ring outside the court and rise up towards the spire you entered through. As you do, you watch a few of the red lights embedded into framework of the cavern flicker. Junie turns to you and ascend through the dark. Do you think the warden is sentient? I mean, as a sleeper, maybe you... She goes quiet. I thought you might know. It could have become sentient. Since the collapse? Is that possible? I suppose with no oversight from Solheim technicians, the protocol could develop some rudimentary learning skills. She pauses. Seems unlikely that I could learn to think, though. She looks up to the approaching spire. Eugen is waiting for you by the access spire. Let's bury this coffin. Ginny cycles the airlock and you go through, now in your suits and helmets, ascending the sealed spire. As you do, you look out through the viewing windows and something catches your eye. The ring's red lights and those few left on the inside cabin are turning off, layer by layer. You turn to Junie, but she's already looking out the opposite side. The warden is shutting it all down. She's ending it. Ooh. You have to force the hatch back open at the top. By the time you do, the spire is dark inside. The pristine walls no longer lit. You come out of the canvas of stars, an impossible number of them, spread out in every direction. You take a moment to look at them. After being tucked away in the bunker, they seem impossibly bright and impossibly beautiful. You glance across at Junie and see she is looking up at the stars too, absorbing their light, as if doing so, might lift her out of this time and into another, where things were different. And there's nothing left here. Nope, we did everything here. Alright, it's time to leave. Time to leave. Seraphin settles the rig at Holmes Rock, the old Solheim arrays glinting in the sun. Looking out the station, you suddenly remember the model Junie gave you, and you take it out of your pocket. Seeing it in the full light, you notice it's made from cast metal, surprisingly detailed and robust looking. Well, look at that. Seraphin glides over. It's a mini rig. You let him take it. He turns it over in his hand, looking at it. What a find. He gazes at the model ship. What are you going to do with it? Do we keep it at our berth, or do we mount it on his console? I'm gonna mount it on his console. Really? Seraphin grins. Well, we could do that for sure. Oh, he's so happy about it. He's so cute. He's so happy about that. Aww. I want them to smooch, please and thank you. My God, I love them. He looks at the model for another moment, then pats you on the shoulder. Good call. Everyone can enjoy it then. He takes the model and glides it over to his console. I'll get it sorted. He turns back smiling. Gonna look great. He's so cute and happy. Oh my God, you're so precious. I love Seraphin. Sleeper? Junie puts a hand gently on your shoulder. You turn to see her smiling a rare smile. Thank you for going out on a limb for me. I know that wasn't the most profitable job, but what we found, I'll be thinking about it for, well, ever. Managed to extract some data that you can use. I'm going to search through everything we pulled out from the bunker. I want to show you it was worthwhile. It was worthwhile. I'm glad you think so. I'll also start seeing where to find the kind of tools I need to work with data like this. Her smile is fading already, replaced by a familiar, determined stare. We can't let it go to waste, but my deck is not going to be enough. Darkside might be the only option. It's the biggest remaining Solheim facility in the belt. I'll look into it. Either way, thanks for bringing me with you. I'm glad to be a part of this. The smile returns. For as long as you'll have me. She looks away nervously, and then before you can respond, she's gone. Off to find a corner of the ship where she could dig through the data she pulled from the past in order to build a better future. Ooh. Nice. Cool. Okay, before we do that, I actually want to see how we repair dice. Ooh. Okay, so we have several rare components. Let's just repair both of them. Oh no, it just replaces one. That's okay though. Nice. Okay, so those will get... We are also starving. Okay, but we're going to take a 5-minute break regardless. We'll probably play for at least another half hour, maybe a little longer, depending on like how the vibe is. I want to get us to Wellspring at the very least and check it out. And then that's probably where we're going to stop for the night. but we shall see. So I appreciate you all tuning in and hanging on out. Again, reminder to do your self-care things during our little break, and we'll be back in 5 to go to Wellspring, and we'll be right back. Hello, my friends, my cool beans. They're hanging out in chat. Appreciate you being here. We're gonna finish out a little bit more Citizen Sleeper. The goal right now, if you're just tuning in, is to get to Wellspring, which is where the next major quest is going to take occurrence at, with Seraphin and helping him locate his sister. We're gonna get there, we're gonna explore around a little bit, and then we'll probably end it there for the night, unless if I'm just like, oh, I need to play more, because Citizen Sleeper and Botany Manor have been on my mind for the last, like, week. Like, I've been dying to play these games for so long. So I'm happy to get to play them all with you. And here is a reminder of the upcoming schedule. Monday is when we're going to be hopefully finishing Botany Manor. I will be starting a little later because I do have to work in the evening that day, and I do have a 6:30 p.m. appointment, so I'm projecting that's going to run the full half hour. So we might start a little later than my normal time slot. Tuesday, we're going to be playing Chapter 3 of Life is Strange Double Exposure. Saturday of next week, we're going to be continuing with Citizen Sleeper 2. And then the Monday following, we'll be beginning Hyper Light Drifter, which should be fun. It's a game I've been wanting to check out for a really long time now. I love the music for, so I'm excited to actually explore that with all of you. Okay, yeah, we do have game audio. Okay. I was like going crazy for like a second. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, we can do some bartering and finish out this action here. Oh dang, never mind. We didn't finish out the action, but we are starving, so that's not good. So maybe let's go get some food, buy a meal, maybe? Okay. That's fine. Yeah, the ambience throwing us off because I was like, where the music be though, my guy? Ooh, we can also do some upgrades. So, I think... Okay, so... I think... Yeah, I want to have an extra bonus point there. I'm going to save the extra point for maybe another perk point here, maybe? I'm not sure yet. Or I might do one of these. Okay. Ooh. This track slaps. I'm here for this. Ooh, glitch dice. We do have one level of glitch. So, okay. So let's do this. Ooh. We're gonna meet somebody. In Holmes Rock, it's impossible to get away from the feeling of living, working, and eating in a ruin. Most of the belt is built on top of the remains of Solheim infrastructure, but there are plenty of places where the modifications or extensions to those structures eclipse on the original foundation. In Holmes Rock, it is the reverse. The station is a small warm patch at the center of a network of tunnels and bays that stretch within the rock, most of them dark, damp, and wrecked, a sprawling foundation that will never be built upon. Ever so often, gliding on your way between Senna's Rest and the Suncatchers, or from the docks to the depot, you find yourself in one of these dark tunnels. That's where you are now. You float, stopped at a four-way intersection, no light visible down any tunnel. Let's go straight. You drift straight ahead through a tunnel where loose wires wave in the dark. On either side, tiny lights occasionally blink, signs of a ghost network still running in the walls. You arrive at another intersection with crooked passages leading away into the dark. Let's go left. You kick off gently from the wall and head into a cylindrical passage clad with panels that hold back the rock. It is wider than the others, and here and there, little droplets of water float undisturbed. At the far end, you see a faint point of light, the warm glow of a lit passage. Suddenly, you hear a rustling in the dark, and a shrill sound that you can't place. There's something out there. We're gonna rush through. Ooh, negative stress. Love that. Kick off hard and glide through the tunnel, feeling a few droplets of water gently spatter on your skin. You shake off the fear as you move. The dark doesn't scare you. As you calmly glide through, you catch a droplet in your hand and rub it between your fingers. It is too sticky to be water. You sniff it. Is that a liquid ration? Then it hits you. Something solid and meaty, slamming into your stomach and spinning away. You press off the wall and push on as a shrill wail echoes behind you in the dark. What the hell was that? When you reach the lit passage beyond, you turn back, but the tunnel is silent and still. What? What indeed? Yep. Are we in the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park right now? I don't like this. You continue on, but you can't shake the feeling of being followed as you ascend back up through the station. Perhaps next time you'll take a different route. Sealed Bay. Unseal the Bay. Oh yeah, we have Solheim data for this shit. Okay, cool. Unseal the Bay. Unseal the Bay. Old Fabricator. Print component. There's a faded old NeoVend printer in the bay. Feeding it data should authorize the component vending process. Oh, we get rare components from that. Okay, so we're not gonna fuck with that. We're only gonna hope for components there later. Okay. So we probably need fuel. Also, I'm gonna put this in here just because. Yeah, using the glitch dice wasn't gonna do me anything. Okay. Anything here? No. Actually, wait. We can do this here. And we could do that there. Don't know why I stuck my tongue out, but I did. Okay. And we need to buy... Okay, we just bought fuel. Can we buy supplies? Actually, no, because we're going to... We're going to Wellspring. Nice.
Because when I retire, I want a television the size of a billboard.
Mags! Thank you for your 32 months of support, my friend.
Such a splendid offering to me. How very thoughtful there, my kin. I am taken aback, though I accept.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. Ooh, Seraphim wants to have a chit-chat. I hope you're doing good. Seraphim, the shout echoes throughout the ship, reaching you in the cockpit. You see the angle Seraphim's had changed, but he does not respond otherwise. You stay silent. This doesn't concern you. Seraphim! You recognize the voice now. It's Bliss. Moments later, they come into the cockpit. Is no one listening? They look between the two of you. I guess that means one of you is guilty. What? Bliss shakes their head. Come on, you need to see this. You follow the irritated Bliss through the ship, down into the cramped storage units tucked between the main ship and the hull. As you enter, you are greeted by total chaos. Amber globs of liquid ration float in the air and cling to the walls, while chunks of dried food spin slowly, breaking into crumbs. Oh. What did we bring on the ship? Oh no. Are we patient zero? Oh no. Or is it a friend? Is it a friend? Is it friend or foe? We do not know, but we are about to find out. See? Bliss fumes. Someone opened up one of the supply crates and left it like this. They point to the crate in the storage netting with the lid pushed open. Oh, we're without storage. Fuck. You look at the mess spilling out from the crate. Who could have done this? Let's inspect the remains. We passed. You take the moment to pick through the food and find a torn open pouch of liquid rations. You turn it in the light and see a set of evenly spaced gashes at the edge. Looking at the chaos, it's hard to imagine a person doing this, especially one of your crew. Bliss puffs out their cheeks. I need a break from this ship. They look at you. Help me tidy this up. You spend the rest of the journey packing the crate away and disposing of the spoiled supplies, but as you do, you can't help but wonder what actually happened here. When you are finished, you take one last look around the storage bay. As you gaze around the now cleared space, you have the same feeling of being observed by unseen eyes as you felt in the tunnels of Holmes Rock. Uh-oh. As he brings the ships into Wellspring's docking ring, you notice a rare tension in Seraphin's piloting. He jerks the stick a little too hard while the docking bridge extends, and a proximity alarm goes off. He curses under his breath. Relax, it'll be okay. I've docked the ships 100 times, Sleeper. He keeps his eyes on the monitors. I am relaxed. That's not what I mean. Seraphin doesn't respond, but you see him grip the rig's controls a little tighter. As the ship stops, the docking bridge connected, you lean forward, and you look out the cockpit windows, trying to get a good view of the icy surface of Wellspring below. Ooh, this looks cool. The harsh, gleaming ice gives way to the steep sides of the cut, the asteroid's one city. It glows and steams with warmth, and peering down into it, you cannot see the bottom. Beyond, along the horizon, you see the terraces of the pit head, where the current extraction effort must be taking place. Seraphin runs the shutdown sequence and unclips from his seat. He turns back to you, a flinty look in his eye. I thought this said flirty, and I was like, oh god. Oh yes, please. Going to head down into the cut. I've got a few leads to follow up on. You get the sense he isn't asking for permission. Fine by me. He nods, grunts, and glides out of the cockpit. Turn and watch as he pushes past Bliss in the doorway. I missed something. Bliss shoots you a look. He seems more irritable than usual. He's looking for his sister. Bliss raises an eyebrow. Family trouble? That'll explain the irritation levels. I'd recommend they zip up their jacket. We go after him before he pushes past someone that he pushes back. Agreed. See you down there. At least Lane's unlikely to come out here to pick a fight with the Lodix Syndicate. Bliss shrugs. They turn and head towards the airlock, whistling softly as they do. Eugen comes out of the side door as Bliss passes. He stretches and squints at you. Permission to find a bar down there? He grins. Just joking. I know I don't need to ask. He winks and follows Bliss. I'll wait with the ship. Junie's voice echoes through the thin interior wall of the corridor. I've got archiving to catch up on. She pauses. There's nothing older than 1,000 cycles on that snowball anyway. Wellspring, the base of the Lodix Syndicate. As you look out across its icy surface, you remember Malik, the captain whose ship you saved and for whom you surveyed the ice asteroid. You also remember how he promised to repay you for your actions should you ever cross paths again. Perhaps Wellspring is a good place for you to make that happen. After all, if Seraphin's sister is here, surely the Lodix Syndicate would be the best place to find her. Ooh. Oh god. Oh man. This is like big. This is fucking big. Okay, Wellspring cut. Act like a local. Okay. Let's see. Well, we currently have no supplies, so I feel cautious to like have anything that drains my energy. Okay, the pit head. Show Lodix Pass. Okay, so we can't get in there yet. So quite literally, this is our only option right now. Oh, yikes, we're starving. That's good. Can we please have... Can we please find... Oh, thank God. There's a bar and there's food. Thank God. Ooh, we can work here. Sure. We did get 8 cry out of that. I'll take it. Lodix Depot. Buy fuel depot shift. Which should not be for us. That would be bad. Okay. How about what happened if this? Oh, we're starving again. We're gonna buy more food. We buy more food. We're gonna have our team look for rations, honestly. I'm gonna do this one more time because hell yeah, that's what we like to see. Amazing to think this place supplies most of the belt's water. Bliss looks across the cutwater at the workers in their distinctive yellow gear. No wonder the syndicate runs it like a corporation. You look at those gathered in the low-ceilinged bar, gathered around cushioned couches and low magnetic tables, their voices bouncing off the metal walls. All of them wear allotted clothing, a mark of their status as contractors for the belt's most powerful syndicate. At the far side of the belt you spot Yujin, perched at the magnetic table with a bunch of miners. Excuse me. He appears to be playing some kind of local dice game, although given the amount of alcohol involved, it's hard to tell if gambling or drinking is the focus. You look back to Bliss, who is watching another group quietly discussing something serious in the opposite corner. Wladek gets the job done. Bliss turns back to the bar and sips their drink through their mouth straw. Well, that's the thing. I've been looking around Chasm Row. Chasm Row? Gray, please. Searching out components in the markets. Down there, people don't seem so happy. Bliss meets your eye. There's a lot of talk of contracts. It seems Wladek's been locking down its workers, giving the war in the inner system as an excuse. They play with their metal straw, swirling the orbs of liquid in their sealed glass. The pressure is building, Sleeper. We shouldn't hang around here much longer. The problem is that we have no pilot. Well, Bliss raises an eyebrow. It sounds like I'm not the only outsider who's been hanging out in Chasm Row. I heard someone complaining about a rude young man asking too many questions. Bliss smiled. Who else could it be? They laugh. That's the place to start if you want to find our boy. They said that he was asking about the Rhyme Market, but I have no idea what that is. Bliss looks out across the bar. Definitely a touchy subject for locals, though. I'll head there now. I'll finish my drink, they smile. Let me know how it goes. You leave the cutwater, shouldering your way through a crowd of boisterous contractors. There's a conspiratorial mood to the conversations now that Bliss has mentioned it, and you wonder what all that talk is about. You hear a bellowing laugh from Yujin as you slip out the door. Better leave him to it. You feel the sudden cold as you leave the steaming bar and enter one of the icy passages cut into the asteroid itself. All this water in the hands of a single syndicate. If something goes wrong here, the belt will die of thirst long before the war reaches it. You turn up the collar of your jacket against the cold and head for Chasm Row. So this is Chasm Row. Okay, but first I'm gonna have source supplies. Okay, so find the Rhyme Market. Oh, this is where we're gonna buy supplies. Okay. Hi, childless cat, Gym Rat. That's an interesting name. I'm not sure what you mean by your question. Okay, end cycle. Need water. Okay. Okay. And we can't get up here yet. Oh, they did source supplies. Good for my team doing that. That's good. Okay. Okay. Basically just putting all of my dice into this. Oh, nice. And let's do 100%. Beautiful. Amazing. Love to see it. Markets of Chasm Row have become familiar in the past cycles. Their steaming orange-lit depths, the persistent condensation on each unit's windows, the gleam of the Amber's workers' suites, each contributing to the particular atmosphere of this buried city. But among this, you have noticed other details too. The freelance crews on the hunt for illicit tech, the conversing workers who drop to a whisper when you pass, the light flickering up through floor grates, suggesting even deeper layers. These are the details you have followed to the Rhyme Market, a place discussed in hushed tones in dimly lit rooms. And as you drift towards what you know to be one of its entrances, the door bursts open in front of you. A large, dark bundle glides out of the door and impacts the metal wall of the passage with an echoing bang. But your eyes are drawn by the imposing figures that hovers in the doorway, bracing himself on the frame. Kirk! Also a very similar outfit to people from the first game, not gonna lie. Looks like someone from the first game too, but I could be very wrong. Stay out of the Rhyme Market, rat. Well, I am a rat, so like... James T. Kirk. That was also my... that's also where my brain went as well. Man sends an orb of spit spinning after the bundle. Seraphine, what are you doing, my friend? The bundle unfolds and you suddenly recognize Seraphine, winded but straightening up to go back for more. We're gonna stop him. No, I don't. Why do you ask? Rush up in front of Seraphine, and as you do, he tries to kick off from the wall back into the fight. You block him and he suddenly switches his angry glare at you. Stay out of this, sleeper. Seraphine, sir, you're gonna get pummeled, and we're gonna be stuck here, sir. You're our only pilot. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Knowing you're beaten, rat. The man calls out. It's time for you to go home and lick your wounds. Seraphine exhales in frustration, his anger fading, replaced by the stinging pain of his injuries. Sir, you're already fucking injured! Sir, you're currently wandering around out here with your elbow in a brace, your tummy in a brace. Like, sir. To be fair, if he's no longer injured at this point, like, I am, like, fine if he stays in this outfit. Because I know, well, I love that for you. I love that you have knowledge. That's... makes me happy as an educator. Appreciate you coming on in. We're going to be finishing up relatively soon. He exhales. You watch as a perfectly round blob of blood forms at the bottom of his nose. Let me hit this idiot, Seraphine. No, sleeper. As much as we want to defend our not boyfriend, we can't do that. Did an edit for Shearus, which has the hello there over. I love that. For the record, the man folds his arms. This one started it. He looks between the two of you, snooping around our meeting like a rat. You see his sharp eyes are calculating the situation since your arrival. I wasn't snooping, I'm looking for someone. Seraphine glares. If you'd taken a minute to talk to me before throwing a punch, maybe you would have got that. The man scratches at his beard, squinting at Seraphine. Say I believe you. What were you doing at the meeting then? Missing persons ain't our business. All I heard is this where the Lodic contractors meet. Seraphine sighs. I don't like you hearing that. Not at all. And I'm going to need to ask you who told you that later. He straightens up. But yeah, this is where the contractors meet. As if that's anything to you. Person I'm looking for is a contractor. Seraphine's frustration rises again. She uses the cover name Luz. He pauses, a desperation entering his voice. Please, I think she might be my sister. Something changes in the man's stance. He holds up a massive hand to silence Seraphine and looks down the passage in both directions. Not here. He retreats to the door. Get in. Okay, I'm out. Bye! Bye. Thanks for hanging out, my friend. Have a good rest of your evening. As you both enter, he reaches past you and slams the metal door behind, spinning the locking wheel with one hand. I'm Kirk. James T. Kirk. Captain of the not Millennium Falcon. He grunts, pointing at himself with his thick thumb. Contractors are my concern, but if Loda catch us discussing contracts out here, he shakes his head. He turns and leads you down the passage. You pass an open door, and you glance inside to see a group of gathered in a circle, all of them in workers' clothes. They are speaking in hushed voices. One of them exchanges a nod with Kirk. Let's not interrupt the meeting anymore, shall we? He glares playfully at Seraphin, who remains silent. Man, I love Trek Wars Star. Kirk leads you to the side of a massive vertical metal pipe with a rough hole cut in the side. He beckons you both inside. You descend through the pipe in silence and darkness. Suddenly you come out through the ceiling of a wide and low hall. As far as you can see, crooked stalls and makeshift shelters dot the grilled floor, lit by scavenged lanterns and light strips. Steam drifts up through the grates, concealing the room so that you cannot see the walls. Welcome to the Rhyme Market. Kirk gestures a thick hand at the ramshackle interior. Lodok don't know about this place. He smiles. Let's get a drink. Excuse me. I think I'm forgetting to breathe. Breathing is important, my friends. He leads you off to a nearby stall with a set of improvised stools welded to the floor in front. He hooks his leg onto one, and you and Seraphin follow suit. He holds up 3 fingers to the stall's owner, and a drink in a straw-pierced packet is handed to each of you. Seraphin looks skeptically at the drink. We friends now or something? Look. Kirk takes a sip. I'm not going to apologize for putting you on your arse. That's on you. But like I said, I represent the contractors, and if someone is part of the family, well... He shrugs his massive shoulders. Then they deserve to be heard out, at least. We'll let Seraphin speak. Enough. You know a Luz. I saw it in your eyes. Seraphin glares at him. Where is she? Describe her. Kirk leans back on his stool. I'm not giving you anything more until you prove she's your sister. Seraphin closes his eyes. Dark hair, used to wear it long, and messy. Bright eyes. Broad shoulders. See a little twitch around his eyes as he recalls. Tough but kind. Tattoos. Nervous laugh. He opens his eyes and glares at Kirk. That enough? Kirk sniffs. Yeah, that's her. You feel something jump in Seraphin, an almost imperceptible tension rising. It's her, his sister, Luz. Kirk speaks slowly, drinking between, or whatever her real name is one of the contractors here. She's part of the most recent contracts Lodok registered. That means, just tell me where she is. Seraphin demands, his impatience getting the better of him. As I was saying... Kirk gives Seraphin a pointed look. Those new contractors are restricted to the pit head. In fact, this is what we were discussing when you interrupted our meeting. Seraphin looks away in frustration but holds his tongue. Since the war, the Lodok Syndicate has been trying to lock down Wellspring. They went from a loose association of mining groups to an autocracy. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. I don't remember. And started enforcing contracts with some seriously overreaching terms. Your sister? She's on one of those contracts. Lodok are acting like they own her and others because, according to their contracts, they do. Which is exactly what we want to do something about. This cycle, he forcefully taps the bar with a finger. We are voting on strike action and a full blockade of Flotsam. We will bring the Syndicate to the table to... Seraphin knocks his drink away and kicks off from the table, disappearing into the market. We're gonna stay with Kirk. Kirk watches Seraphin go with a disappointed look in his eyes. Your friend will go to Lodok Syndicate, I know it. He sips from his drink. They won't help him there. Kirk's bright eyes meet yours. The Syndicate will do nothing for him or for you. Trust me. I want to help you, Sleeper. I want to help your friend, but I need your help in return. Sure, buddy. Kirk places a plastic pass card into your hand. It glints with the mark of the Lodok Syndicate, a blurry ID photo laminated into its transparent interior. This will get you into the pit head. You can see for yourself what's happening there. Don't follow your friend to Lodok. Go to the pit head. Find Luz yourself. He meets your eye. When you do, come back to me, and we can discuss how to free her and everyone else like her. If you go to Lodok, if you meet with them, I can't help you. He releases your forearm and drifts back into the crowd, disappearing into the steam and darkness. You catch up with Seraphin in the bustle of the Rhyme Market, among the steaming crowds. I can't have been the only one who saw his pitch coming a mile off. What kind of idiots does he think we are? Is this what this is about? This is about getting my sister out of whatever mess she gotten into. Seraphin starts to push through the crowds towards the exit tunnel. We need to speak to Lodok. Forget these clowns. Dude. Seraphin. My brother in Christ, please, you are not thinking rationally. Sir, we are visitors here, sir. We are guests in their property, on their property, sir. We need to pay their respects, sir. Can we give our second husband a Snickers? Yeah, I think he deserves a little breaky. Yeah. Seraphim forges on ahead, and you get caught in the crowd behind him. As he disappears from view, you curse his impatience. You float there for a moment, buffeted by passing people, clutching onto the Lodic Pass, trying to decide what to do next. Oh, so now we can go directly to the market. Oh, nice. Oh, we could buy rare components here, too. Nice. Cool. Oh, and this is a new one. Lodic Operation. Ooh, so this is if we were to go talk to Lodic, but we're gonna go to Wellspring directly. Which, that is gonna be... I think that'll be for another stream. Yeah, because we're actually, like, pretty good, because these are all... That's a minor mission, but these are major missions at this point, because this one is Greenbelt, and then this one's in Scatter Yards. Oh, I just want to look at the map. Okay, so essentially we're stuck here until we do the things with Sarah. Oh, wait, there actually is no... Oh... So that's why there's no progress for Lane, because we're so... That's why they made the comment of like, oh, we're so far up, Lane's not going to come find us. Just so that Lane literally does not come and find us. That's smart. That's very smart of them to do. Alright. We'll use up our last dice here. Okay. And rig... End cycle, and then we'll begin the next cycle going to the pit. Nice. We made good progress today, my friends. Yeah, that music is really, really good. I love it. Yeah, we made some really good progress today with the game, which I'm happy about. Love that for us. And yeah, and like I mentioned, we have the two major quests right now, which is to find Seraphine's sister, which is what we're doing now. And then we have the Explore the Hexport plot line. So we have to go to the Scatter Yards, which is why I was trying to pull up the map, because I wanted to see where the Scatter Yards were located, to see like, okay, can we do like minor mission to help Nemba on our way to Scatter Yards? Or so I was looking to see like, can I track what was next? But that's fine. We'll do that next week. So I'm curious like what's gonna happen after we do all that, you know? Because like Seraphine's sister, I'm not sure what's gonna come out of helping Seraphine's sister. Like, is she gonna become a crew member now? I don't know. And like, I'm sure the stuff that we're going to find out about Hexport is going to be very interesting. Yeah, as a reminder of the upcoming schedule, so on Monday, which is our next time going to be live, we will be continuing and hopefully finishing Botany Manor, which is a really cool puzzle game. I'm really enjoying it. Tuesday will be Chapter 3 of Life is Strange Double Exposure. Next Saturday, we'll continue where we left off tonight with Citizen Sleeper 2. And then the Monday after, we will begin Hyper Light Drifter, which should be a lot of fun. It's kind of almost giving me like Grist vibes in a way, but maybe with like some more combat than that, if I recall correctly. But the music's really, really good. Okay. I am currently checking out raid targets. How long they can spend on the station even though it's safe until lane gets wind. I don't think it'll be like that, though, because we physically can't leave because... We physically can't leave Wellspring until we have Seraphim back. So because of that stipulation, that's why they wrote that in, I think. Because they didn't want to make the stipulation, or like they didn't want Lane to be on our tail and basically force us to do this plot line really fast. Because I have a feeling this is going to be a larger plot line. Well, it's a major plot line, so it's going to be longer than that. So that's why they did that. Okay, I'm just checking. Want to post her out for our husbands? Yeah, really, honestly. Okay, who shall we raid to? Okay. We are going to go right on over to the Goth Daddy, who is someone we've raided on over to before. Looking for Seraphim. Grumpy, handsome little cutie patootie with a bandaged waist. Yes, absolutely. So we're going to raid on over to the Goth Daddy, who is just chatting right now. But there is a cat cam, or was a cat cam. I'm currently in an ad. But there was a cat cam last time I saw. So feel free to come on over. Yes, Kitter. The cat does have a name. Named Milo. A very little cutie patootie. So if you like what they're up to, please drop a follow on their channel. I am very sure they will appreciate it. Oh. Never mind, we can't raid them. That's fine. Oopsies, we can't raid them. Never mind. Let's see. Who else can we raid? No cat? It's fine. It's fine. Okay. We'll raid on over. Now I'm going to check to make sure. Okay, this one works. Okay. So we're going to raid on over to Jake Playable, who is also just chatting. So that will be fun. Jake is a streamer I found like a long time ago. Super cool. He does like a lot of like VR stuff and has like really cool stream stuff and everything like that. So if you like what he's up to, please drop a follow on his channel. I am sure he'll appreciate it. And I will see you all sometime next week for streams as I continue to update all of my overlays. But again, I appreciate you all hanging on out in some way, shape, or form. And I will see you all real soon. My name is Erin Gray, queer variety Twitch streamer, signing off.